Ready.
Set.
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready Set Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and artistry. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the renaissance of artistry, Dexterity.
That's me. Hi, I'm the Renaissance.
The whole era.
It's me. Start to end, I was there. It was me.
Wow.
The man with the music, Teddy Chinaris.
I live in the city of Nashville, and I go to a school that is mostly known for music, and I am not musically talented in any way, shape, or form.
I'm starting with the man of the music.
And our most special guest, the most surrealist, Bri.
Hi, I'm Bri. Apparently I'm so surreal.
I dig it.
You originally were like impressionist, so I was going to be the most impressionable impressionalist. And
so
then
impressionable.
you took
What?
it from me.
Impressionable or
You took that from me.
Sorry.
Darian, tell me about your artistry.
Well, you see here, we've got some paints on my table that I've now strategically hidden right behind my chair.
My favorite
Yep.
part about podcasts is when you're pointed directly away from the mic.
Directly behind my chair where you can no longer see it is my art table where I paint dice, and that is it. That's my art. I paint dice.
Cool. And now from the actual artist. Hey, Bri, what kind of art do you make?
Like for real?
Yeah, sure.
I do a little bit of.
If you're watching the video or the
Everything.
live stream, you can see some of her art.
Oh yeah, right over there. I make some fun props and stuff too. So like skulls,
And bones.
bones.
Hit Ubisoft game.
Yep. Speaking of hit video games, Bri, what have you been playing?
Sea of Thieves, Halo, League of Legends, and I've been trying to get back into playing variety games, so Game Pass games, especially since now they have PC.
Hell yeah, Game Pass. What Halo are you playing?
All of them. Halo 5 and MCC, yeah?
Are you playing the Halo 5 multiplayer?
Yeah,
Okay. Are you playing Arena? Do you play SWAT?
I play SWAT, yeah.
Hell yeah. Narrowing it down.
Platinum,
Damn.
let's go.
Okay. I do not have somebody to play with because I am not that good.
Yeah.
I'll go back down to gold for you. Can you get to gold?
Yeah, I can get to gold. Gold's like usually where I start.
I love SWAT though, so if you ever want to just
Hell
hang
yeah.
out and play
Dude,
SWAT, let me know.
Halo 5 multiplayer, the arena, is so good. It's genuinely one of my favorite first-person shooters, like, of all time. Like, I love it so much. And it's awesome. The ranking is great. So I have, like, one other friend that I hop in, and we do, like, every season we'll place and play a little bit of doubles. That's always fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Halo's great. Play Halo.
It's great.
I actually, we'll talk about this. I think it's not even in the outline, but Xbox announced their Ultimate Pass, and I picked that up, and then I used that to download Sea of Thieves on PC, and then my girlfriend was gonna play on my Xbox, and we're gonna try that out, but she got motion sick very quickly. I got motion sick a little bit later, but we were also confused.
Really?
I don't know. It might have been the art style. There's some games that'll get me motion sick, but
You like get motion sick like on boats? Like, is it just
I've never been on a boat, so I couldn't say if boats themselves would do it.
interesting?
But yeah, and I was also confused as frick because I hopped in and there was no, hey, here's what you're doing. So we managed to I managed to figure out how to get a quest. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to hop on the boat and I'm going to learn how to drive this boat. And then as soon as we got into the water, a giant shark attacked us. And I was like, I am not prepared for this. My
So
girlfriend,
much fun, dude.
my girlfriend could not figure out how to fire the cannons. We ended up getting away from the shark. And while I'm just like, where's the shark? Where's the shark? We ended up crashing the boat back into the place we started. So I was like, oh, guess we're back here. And then we just got out and quit the game. But I would love to play that with some people. That seems like it could be a cool time. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun game.
Yeah. Darian, you also play League.
Yep. Wow, what a transition. Perfect.
I was looking at her list of games to see if there's anything else I had to say anything about, and Teddy already said his Halo. I said Sea of Thieves, and I was like, well, maybe Darian will talk about League, and now you will, maybe.
Do it.
Sure, yeah. I played
What have
League.
you been playing with League lately? Are you doing the
well,
ranked? You getting up in the
I
world?
did do ranked, and I was really excited because my climb to gold is still not super great, but I'm still getting 21 LP every win, so I guess that's a positive. But I didn't go back down another rank, so that was
There
good.
you go. That's always good. Just staying in the same place. That's what's really.
I'm
That's what
just
it's
staying
about.
at silver 2,
Nice.
less than 50 LP every time, though. I can't. I don't.
Yeah, it's rough. I placed in League once, and I placed in Bronze 4. Didn't really play ranked much anymore. Then I stopped playing the game eventually.
Man,
like,
now
alright.
bronze isn't even the worst. Now it's iron.
What? It goes down to iron?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I kind of love that.
I'm still waiting for wood.
Yeah, right. Woods, I mean, they gotta do it.
And then after that, I'll just
If
be
they're
poop.
just gonna keep adding tiers.
When they add the poop league, then I'll join in. I really want to
there you
stay
go.
high poop league.
I also played Dead by Daylight. I also jumped back into Miku Hatsune Project Diva X because I love it. I started playing Kurtzbell and made the prettiest anime girl ever. And she's.
Should I know
I'll
what
protect her.
Kurtzbell is?
It's like it's an anime MMO.
Aren't they
Nice.
all?
No.
Definitely not.
No, they're not. They're definitely not.
It's really pretty.
What type of, is it like fantasy? Is it?
Yeah, it's fantasy. There's like magic and shit. It's like
What's it called?
a Kurtzbell.
Okay.
Yeah, well, okay, so it's in early access, so there's not actually that much content, but basically the game is about like there's like chaos and order, and the order
Just like real life.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're trying to kill all the people who are Kurtzbells, and I don't entirely know what that means yet because there's so little actual real content. Most of it is just like grinding to try to get rare shit, but like
this
there's
art
not that
looks
much
really
story
good,
yet.
and the combat looks really cool.
It's absolutely gorgeous and it runs really well.
I really love MMOs, so this is absolutely like piquing my interest.
You should absolutely wait to start it though because there's
I mean that's fine.
so little to do right now. Like it's brand
I
spanking
just want to make a
new.
T-shirt that says magic and shit on it. Can we make that happen?
Fantasy
I
equals
bet
magic
that's
and
out
shit.
there somewhere.
Anime magic and shit. It can be one of those like list shirts, that has things. Okay.
No, that's too much.
Shut it down right
No,
away.
This is
shirts like
more-
those are so cliche and boring now. Like Facebook makes up shirts to try to get you to buy shit. Like there's not a shirt with my last name on it, but my brother shared a post with that earlier because it was one of those like pre-generated like look at this weird saying and let's throw your last name in it and it applies to you. Nope.
Facebook algorithm is terrible.
Yeah,
They
it's
make
pretty
super
dumb.
shitty shirts.
And there's people who are sharing it like, yeah, this is so me. And I'm like, I hate this all.
Literally on Kind of Funny Show, Internet Explorers, they have a segment where Barrett buys terrible Facebook algorithm shirts. And
Wow.
then he brings them in. Like, look at this garbage.
How
Seven
bad do they
different
look,
fonts.
though? Do they look good?
No.
Do they look like the
no,
pictures?
they're all terrible. I mean, they look like the pictures, but the pictures are terrible. Like, it's literally like it's some weird mix of like 3 different franchises, and for some weird reason, like each different word is a different font. Like,
I hate that.
Yeah.
There's one I get see passed around of like, in this household we're geeks, we aim to misbehave, we like mischief managed and all of that. And I'm like, this looks so bad and is so.
This one says, never underestimate a mother who listens to Iron Maiden and was born in August.
This is a really deadly combination right there.
If you find that specific person, you're in for a hell of a time.
Fucking better watch out, man.
Wait.
Oh my god, like this one? Hold on. Hi, this is becoming a new segment. This has so much shit going on. I can't.
Oh god. I hate this. I hate this with every part of my being. It says smartass December 1985 woman, hated by many, loved by plenty, heart on her sleeve, fire in her soul, and a mouth she can't control in fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
so
different
many
styles.
fonts.
8 different
So many
styles and fonts.
This is
It's a
ridiculous.
nightmare.
Okay.
You know what?
Moving on.
Is it a nightmare? More video games.
Yeah, can you please tell me about the video games?
Yeah, I had a nightmare trying to play Skyrim. I
did you?
really, really, really wanted to play it. Before Teddy also tweeted about wanting to play Skyrim.
Which I didn't actually do.
But apparently a lot of the mods that I used were outdated, so I had to go and remove a bunch of them. And then that took like half an hour, and then I tried to play the game, and the PC version does this weird thing where if you like tab out and tab back in, like sometimes you'll see the cursor and sometimes you won't, and it kept showing me the real cursor as well as the in-game cursor, and I tabbed out and tabbed back in, which sometimes fixes it, but this time it crashed it, so I quit.
Oh, Bethesda.
They do it so good.
See, I missed out on Skyrim. I never played it.
I played it when it first. I've told the story a billion times, so I'm going to keep it very quick. But I played Skyrim when it first came out. Like, I went to the midnight premiere because I liked Oblivion. I played it when it first came out, and I played to like level 15. And at a certain point, I was like, I'm not having fun with this. And then I put it down, and then I kept like getting the itch to go back, and I would pick it up, get to like the same point, realize I'm not having fun, and stop. And I did that like 5 times until I gave the game away. So every now and then I get this craving to play it, and I'm like, don't do it. You're not going to like it. You never like
I
it.
think I just got into character creation and just wasted time in there, and then I played like one mission and then just didn't play it again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
That's
addicted
fair.
to the character creation. Like same with like Fallout. I sat there and just created characters.
I always sit there for like 2 hours, honestly.
Yeah. People get so mad at me.
Fallout 3, I think, is the only Bethesda game I've managed to finish.
I don't think I've finished one.
I do have some. I'm planning to do what I call a co-op stream of Fallout 4, where they've got that like app where they can run the Pip-Boy from the app. I'm gonna play, and my girlfriend's gonna run the Pip-Boy, and at no point will I access the menus myself. She's gonna have to control my health, my armor, all of that.
It's a good idea.
So it's a cool little like co-op Fallout. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, Darian, is that everything?
No, I also jumped back into Breath of the Wild because hype.
That we'll talk about later.
Yeah, we'll dive into that. And then played some Mario Kart and also jumped back into Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
Which has been a shit show because I've decided I'm only going to catch Jigglypuffs until I get a shiny Jigglypuff.
So you're just like catching Jigglypuffs and that's it? That's
just
the game?
catching Jigglypuffs. I spent probably the first hour of my stream just running around catching Jigglypuffs, and I was like, wow, this is really bad content. Let's go do something, guys.
I think I got like 3 badges and then I just shiny hunted. Never played it again after that.
That's exactly what I did too, and I jumped back in. I've got 3 batches.
You're like, okay,
and-
just one more session of shiny hunting, and then I'll totally play the campaign of this game, and then you just never go back. You just sit there and catch and catch and catch.
See, I don't understand why you guys are such in a rush for the shinies, because if you complete your Pokedex, you get the shiny charm, which...
I know, but it's like, you get addicted, and you're just one more. I just want a Pidgey, you know?
Like,
just
come on, the
gimme.
next one's got to be a shiny.
Yeah, and then you don't want to start your chain over, you know? You already put in 3 hours of this bullshit. Might as well put 3 more hours into it.
See, I'll catch a bunch for the chain to get high IV Pokemon, because I think that you get a higher chance of better Pokemon if you got chain going.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about the shinies until I get my shiny charm. But I did hop back in just real quick on Let's Go myself, and because of hype with the new Pokemon games coming out, and I don't know. I just went through the Elite Four again, and I was just like, I basically like have to put in the bad Pokemon now to try and level them up, and I'm like, I don't want to play with you guys. I want to play with the good ones, but I don't need to play with the good ones because they're leveled. So it's just like I'm playing with the loser kids now.
Damn. Be nice to your children, Bryce.
But I do want to.
They're adopted. It's fine.
Yeah, I do want to save up enough money to get the crown for my Pikachu, because right now he's got a really dope suit, and there's like a crown you can get for like not like the 999,999. Like, it's gonna take forever to get that kind of cash, but it's gonna look so dope.
It's not going to take that long. Just go fight random scientists. They'll give you $11,000 just because.
You can't fight the same person twice. There's only after you've like fought everybody, there's only the only people that you can refight are after you've beaten the game. You can refight the gym leaders, and you can refight the Elite Four and the champion. But other than that,
I like it better in the games where like they'll make it like randomly they will like respawn as, or not randomly, but after certain events it'll respawn previous. I think in Black and White specifically they did that because they had like a weird trainer tracker, and they'd say this person wants a rematch, and you'd get to redo fights.
yeah,
And I know they've done that in more than one game, but I think in Black and White it was the most prominent.
yeah. To my knowledge, there's nothing like that. Well, also. I think the main focus for after you beat the game is to fight the Pokemon Masters, you know, the ones that are like, I have the greatest Charizard ever. But you need to have really good Charizard to win that fight. So because you can only fight, you know, a Venusaur versus a Venusaur or whatever. So you got to have good Pokemon to even try.
I know all about Pokemon. 100%.
Okay.
Followed all of that.
Tell me about all the Pokemon you played, Teddy.
Oh, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Okay.
And Pokemon, what was it?
Pokemon Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
No. I played, there was one more Pokemon that I bought. Oh no, I also played weirdly enough, the Pokemon that I've played the most, that I put the most time into out of all, like if it's not clear enough, I did not grow up with Pokemon. Like, it wasn't a thing I was super into. My parents were mean, didn't let me play it. And like the most of the Pokemon playing that I've done has been like as I've gotten older, trying to get into it. And the one that I spent the most time in was like when they put Pokemon Yellow back on the 3DS. I put the most time into that one.
Like the one you can get off the Nintendo Store, or the remake?
The one you can get off the
best.
Nintendo Store. The like when it was like the anniversary or something, and they just like put it back out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I bought that one too.
It was really good. I enjoy that more than Let's Go Eevee.
It's a good game. Pikachu follows you around.
Yep. Well,
hell yeah, it's great.
Pikachu and Eevee follow you around in Let's Go, plus whatever one you want to take out of the ball.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
okay,
have
we get it,
multiple
we get it.
Pokemon following you
Though
around.
didn't that happen in Pokemon Yellow as well? Couldn't you
I think
take?
that was the first time that happened.
Well, I knew that Pikachu would follow you around in Yellow, but I was wondering if you could take a Pokemon out
Pikachu
of
would
its
follow
vault.
you around.
It was
No,
just Pikachu.
just one.
Oh, okay.
There's been other games where other Pokemon can follow you though too, right? Like
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think there's like the Heart Gold and Silver. They
yeah,
reversed
Heart
it.
Gold and Soul Silver they can. Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Okay, Teddy, can you tell me about some non-Pokemon games so we
I'll
can
tell
get
you
to
about
news?
a game that a Pokemon doesn't follow you around in, and it's called Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That game is amazing, and I love it. And like, I haven't been on the podcast in like a month, so I haven't really. I went back being like, oh man, what have I played? Like, oh, it's gonna be a big list, and then I was like, oh shit, no, because I
I've played one game.
I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and my goal was like, I really wanted to like start getting through that this summer, because I did that with Origins last summer. I went through it like all, and I really want to, because I love Odyssey even more than Origins. Like, Odyssey's amazing. It's one of my favorite games like that I've played in a long time, and I want to platinum it. But then pretty soon after I got into Odyssey, I was still like trying to play ESO, and then I slowly disappeared from ESO, and then I slowly disappeared away from Assassin's Creed, and now I'm back to my Destiny, which is Destiny 2. And I've been playing a ton of that. I have sunk my time into Destiny 2 over like the last month, which is awesome. I'm very happy to do so, because as if you've listened to this show for a long time, you know that I used to be huge into Destiny. Like, I have like 1,500 hours in D1, but like Destiny 2 was weird because the PC release, like a lot of my friends didn't follow me over from PS4 because they couldn't get a PC. So like it was a weird splintering off, and then everybody like slowly stopped playing. But like there's been a resurgence lately. Like, I got a lot of friends back into it, so I've been having a lot of fun. And other than that, the only other thing I've been playing, the other day, I ordered a 512 gigabyte micro SD card for my Switch. Which is, yeah, I was like, dude, I want
Nice.
the biggest that I can get.
How much did that cost you?
There was a sale, right?
It was like the 512 gigabyte SD card was like, I believe like $80, which normally it's like 100.
What?
It like went on sale or something, and like a ton of people did that. I wish I would have done that.
So I was like, not that bad of an idea, you know? Like, I kept running out of space. I had a 32 card. And there was also a bunch of games on sale on the Switch. I bought like a couple. Crypt of the Necrodancer was like $3. I bought that, and The Messenger, and My Time at Portia, which I've heard is really good. It's like a Stardew Valley, but like 3D. It seems really cool. It looks like a lot of fun, and I love Stardew. But the one that I've been playing the most is Rogue Legacy, which is a game I have played and beat before, but I love that game. I adore that game. So I want to play it again, beat it, and then I actually want to like spend time in the New Game Plus. That would be awesome. And what's really cool, this is the last little side note, and then we'll move on. We'll get into what Bryce has been playing and then the E3 stuff. But what's really cool about Rogue Legacy is that I played it when I first moved up here to Nashville in like my senior year of high school, right? Like 5 years ago at this point, something like that. I was playing it on my Vita and on PS4. It was one of the few games that was cross-play, like cross-save. So you'd like upload your save on the Vita, then you go sit down on your PS4 and download it and continue it. And I was playing it on my Vita, like when we came up. I remember we came up here once, and there was like nothing in my room except a couch. Like we were moving furniture, and I just sat on my couch with like my old PlayStation Gold headset and played Rogue Legacy for like 6 hours, and it was so good. That game's awesome. And then I came home and just continued it. And when the Switch was first being announced, that's what I would point to as my favorite experience as to why I love the idea of the Switch, because I basically did it already with that game, and now I'm doing it again with the exact same game, and it's awesome. It's great. That game's awesome. If you haven't played Rogue Legacy, you need to. It's very, very fun. Super addicting. Great loop. But yeah, Bryce, what have you been playing?
Have been playing some more Red Dead Redemption 2 because my girlfriend's been pressuring me to finish it.
Trucking through that slowly.
Well, so there's a deal where if you commit crime and stuff and get caught, and you'll get like bounties for you in certain areas, and there's certain areas that like some of it's money based, and you can actually pay off the bounty on yourself of like, oh, I killed like half this town and have like a $800 bounty, but if I just give them $800, nobody cares anymore. Otherwise, if you have a bounty for you, when you're just riding around, bounty hunters might show up and try and kill you, and that definitely makes it riskier to just get around. But I'm actually and there's certain parts that do the story, you'll just have a bounty in, and basically the way the story is right now, the entire area that I'm operating in, there's a bounty for that I can't pay off. And so there is some level of quick travel, but
fast travel,
it's only really like one way, and it's only just like certain locations. You can't do it to any place, like, oh, I have to go to this specific deal, let me just fast travel there. You can't do that. You can only go to like certain towns. But what you can do is you can set a marker, and then you can go into cinematic camera, and your horse will stay on the path. So while you're in cinematic camera, you don't have your mini map or anything like that. You're just kind of riding along and watching. But I did get a tablet, and they have the Red Dead Redemption companion app, which you can connect and look at the map, like the active map, which is so good for this situation, because I can't see the map on screen, but with the app, I'm able to see the map while it's on like auto play, basically, while my horse is just doing its own thing. Which there has been times where I've been just cinematic camera, and some guys have been waiting to jump me, and like my girlfriend like pointed out like, oh, there's some guys up there, and I just dropped out of cinematic camera and was like ready to go. If it wasn't for that, I would have been effed a few times. And it also like, it's cool because I can have less UI on the screen, because I can have it on the app, and it definitely makes it like feel better to play. But I'm probably 70% in. I didn't look at the save last time I did. The story is definitely interesting. Like, there's some developments, and I'll be curious to see how it wraps up. I think they're doing a red herring of where the story is going, but we'll see. Also, real quick, I previously talked about a app called Idle Champions, Dungeons and Dragons Idle Champions. I've been playing it for a little bit, and my official review is it sucks. Don't play it.
0 out of 10.
Yeah, like,
can you put a number score to this game?
1 out of 10. No, I mean, probably a 3. You will have fun right away, and then you will hit a hard wall where it's like I have been stuck on a single mission, just like close to finishing, but also not able to make any progress on that final thing of like, they're really like, well, you're real close. If you just give us some money, maybe that'll be just the push you need. And it's just like, no, like, I just feel like I can't get through this on my own, and no matter what time or thing I do, I can't finish this mission, and I'm so close. And so I'm not even that far in. Like, there's a bunch of missions you can do, and I'm already hitting this wall. And
just so you know, on the IGN review scale, they assign words to the numbers through 10. 1 is unbearable, so it's probably past a 1.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun. I guess it was interesting the first little bit.
Okay. 2 is painful.
No, not quite.
3 is awful. Is that about right? Just awful.
What's 4?
Bad.
I'll go with bad. I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
It's just bad. It was a lot of clicking.
It's bad, and you won't play it again.
Yeah, I'm done. I will not recommend this game. It's a bad time. Don't do it. Hey, people, it's news time. We have a lot of it to go through.
The show is basically just news because this is the E3 show. E3 happened. So we are going to talk about all of it.
We talked surprisingly about non-news for a long time, but here we are in the news.
Well, some of it was Facebook algorithm shirts.
Yeah.
It was very important, okay?
Okay, so real quick, Netflix has during the Stranger Things deal at E3, Netflix has announced that there is going to be a Stranger Things location-based puzzle RPG rendered in an 80s retro Saturday morning cartoon style. The game will center around exploring and battling the Upside Down with other players using location-based mechanics and Google Maps integration.
What the fuck does that mean?
So it's to be Pokemon Go?
Kinda, maybe. But
Sounds
with
pretty
puzzles.
cool, but
Yeah, see, the description of it being a location-based puzzle RPG. What is the puzzle? Like, RPG, arguably Pokemon Go could be an RPG, but also, like, how does this work in Stranger Things? Are Demogorgons gonna pop up?
Yo, let's do it.
I guess I don't know how this is gonna work, and maybe once Stranger Things season 3 comes out, how that would work might make more sense. Maybe.
She comes out on the 4th of July, right?
Yes, it does.
Hell yeah.
Because I think that's where like it takes place in story,
Yeah.
which is it's cool that they kind of do that.
I mean, I think they did that last time with Halloween as well. Came out on Halloween, and it was like the week of Halloween was the season.
The new Stranger Things mobile game is set for release in 2020 on both Android and iOS. Yeah, there's not too much information about it. There is just like a picture that, I mean, the art style looks kind of cool, but I have no idea what this is going to be. And it's just out there, and maybe get hype.
Maybe, if you want.
Yeah.
it sounds like a cool idea, but
Yeah. It
Yeah.
seems like everybody's got a location-based mobile game now. There's too many.
I'm good. I'll pass on all of them.
Since the last episode, the Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct happened. There was some cool stuff coming out of that. We got to see some new Pokemon. We got a better look at the region, and I think the big gameplay change was revealed that the Pokemon can be giant now. Actually, there's a few things that you can make the giant Pokemon, and then also you can do raid battles with you and 3 other friends. I'm excited about that.
And also, the National Dex isn't in the game.
I mean, that wasn't in the direct, but that was mentioned earlier. If we want to talk about that, we've got a question from Zyger.
Oh, man.
Zyger wrote in, like you can, at readysetgamecast.com/submit. And he asked, what are your guys' thoughts on hashtag bring back National Dex for Sword and Shield? For context, we as players can bring any and all Pokemon from our Generation 3 Game Boy Advance games all the way to the newest Pokemon, the newly announced Pokemon Home service launching next year. However, only Pokemon that are in the Galar region Dex can be brought into Sword and Shield, means Sword and Shield will be the first Pokemon game without all the Pokemon in it. Darian, you brought it up. How do you feel?
I think it's super stupid. I don't understand why they have promotional images with like Raichu and Gyarados if they're not planning on bringing in the National Dex.
Well, no, see, we know for a fact that all the 151 will be in there. It's somewhere in the middle that's going to be left out. It's not like...
Well, that's still really dumb to me.
We don't know how many Pokemon are going to be in there and which ones are getting left out. But we do know that the first 151 in and will be there and whatever new ones. But
That just means that my favorite Pokemon is going to be left out, and all I want to see is a giant Togepi, but that's never going to happen because they're not bringing in the National Dex. So.
why do you I feel like the most popular Pokemon will be there for sure. But it's
They didn't say that, though. They said they're not bringing in the National Dex.
yeah, I understand it. Honestly, I was kind of questioning how they were going to make this like giantized. What's the name of the making the Pokemon Dynamaxing mechanic work with the other mechanics that they have, like the Charizard X and Y, where they can mega
They're not
evolve.
bringing in X moves either, or mega evolutions.
Yeah, those are being cut. So they're kind of stuck in that deal of either they have to support all of the old stuff, which is going to leave them not being able to like innovate, because you have a weird balancing thing where somebody would make their Charizard an X and then make it Dynamaxed and then do some crazy moves, and it's too much, and I get it. It sucks that they're not going to put all the Pokemon in there. They could obviously just remove that, but I think they'll be smart about what Pokemon make the cut and which don't. They're probably the Pokemon nobody cares about probably won't be making the cut.
I guess the thing that bothers me the most is that they are bringing out this whole Pokemon Home thing, which was really exciting. Like, oh, you can put all of your Pokemon in Pokemon Home, and that's awesome. But like, the only ones that you can transfer Pokemon into is Sword and Shield, but they're going to be excluding most of the Pokemon from the last like 6 generations.
Well,
like
where have you ever seen most of? They've just said it's not going to include all of the Pokemon. I've never seen them say
it's probably
most of.
still going to be a lot. Most of them will probably be kept, if I were to guess.
Did they say why, or is it just because like
they
the
don't
newer
want to take the time
mechanics
to make
with, like,
all of the models of all the Pokemon.
Yeah, that and they also talked about balancing issues. I can totally get balancing issues.
Dude, I honestly understand, because like the game, I mean, I don't fully understand because I'm speaking out my ass when it comes to Pokemon, but like the idea is that like they built up those Pokemons over however many generations. Is this going to be like Gen 8? Right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? So they built up 7 generations of Pokemon prior, and like I totally could see them being like, we kind of just want to pick what we want in this game. Like, we don't want to just have to, like, because then they have to design the game around that, around like preconceived things, whereas like they can take it and make their own kind of thing,
I think the thing that people are most mad about is the post game. Like, after you finish the story and everything like that, that's when people start doing like trainer battles against other people and like PvP and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's probably where the balancing issues are coming in, but like that's for the trainers to deal with, not for the devs. Like, that's not a decision that devs should take out of the trainers' hands.
I don't know about that, but there's 800 Pokemon going, like, including the new generation, there's 800 Pokemon. I could see them keeping probably 500, maybe 600, and like, sure, that's going to be leaving some on the cutting room floor, but I don't think they're going to cut out any ones that there's probably some ones like, yes, that random one from generation 5, that was my favorite.
They're not going to put the trash Pokemon in there for sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, people are blowing this into a huge thing, and I don't think it's going to be nearly as bad as people think. Bree, are you excited for Sword and Shield?
Yes and no. I'm very much like the original 151 and also like Gold, Silver. Those are my favorite. I still enjoyed like Black and White. I never finished Sun and Moon. Well, I totally get where they're going, but I feel like they have enough models like I guess I don't know what exactly Sword and Shield's gonna be about, but excluding Pokemon in like a Pokemon game where you're gonna have most of the Pokemon, it's kind of weird, unless it's going to be part of the story why we don't see some Pokemon ever. We'll see. I think it's going to be interesting.
I think the most troublesome thing is that it's on a console, and now they're going to start excluding stuff.
Well,
the first like big mainline Pokemon, it is kind of weird, like on console for them to exclude it there. Bad timing,
That's a troubling choice to me. I'm interested to see if they'll respond positively to the negative backlash, because it seems a lot of the fan base is not satisfied with their decision.
I think a lot of the fan base probably isn't talking. They're just like, yeah, it's, I think the vocal minority, like, I think whenever people are being very loud, it's always like a select group of loud people.
I don't know. They got the hashtag trending on Twitter, and that it takes something to do that.
But yeah, I don't see Nintendo, well, Game Freak backing down. If they did it, it would probably be some sort of post-game deal, or
They've actually left it open-ended to where they're not completely opposed to the idea of adding them after the game's release, but they're not planning on doing it before the game's release. Like, it's
Yeah.
possible that they'll add it in patches after the games come out, probably like months after the games come out, but like as of right now, like they're pretty hard set on like, no, it's not going to be available on release.
Yep.
Okay, we are like a good bit into this show, and we have not gotten into E3.
Okay. Well, now I'm gonna do the first E3 conference.
Well, before that, I added a quick bullet point that says Teddy says things because I
Okay.
wanted to throw in real quick. We don't have this on the doc. There are also 2 other streams that happened before E3 even started. The Stadia Direct, or what do they call it? It was like Stadia Connect or something.
Yeah, I think so.
That came out. Let me pull up all the major things, but like they showed off pricing and release date. So if you're into Stadia, we'll get that info for you. And I also wanted to mention the Destiny 2 stream that Bungie did. I know people here don't care, but the audience might. And I'm I used to be the Destiny guy, so I'm trying to be again. So I figure it is a good idea to mention it. It's big shit. There's a lot of big shit in that stream. Cross save is coming to Destiny 2 in September when Shadowkeep launches. Shadowkeep is the new expansion that comes out in September 17th is when Shadowkeep comes out, and it's $35, and you can get it without having to get any of the previous expansions. They are releasing a free-to-play model with Destiny called Destiny 2 New Light, which you'll be able to hop in and play all of the destinations and all of the playlists, but you won't be able to do exotic questline, story for like expansions and raids and stuff like that. But you'll be able to play all of the year 1 content and then destinations and playlists. So you'll have a lot to do. What else did they announce? The crossplay is the biggest thing. Personally, the biggest thing as well, because this was their first stream fully away from Activision when Bungie broke off away from Activision. They called Destiny 2 an action MMO, which is huge because for years they have consistently, purposefully avoided the word MMO because they didn't want to classify it like that because they didn't want people to be like intimidated of it being an MMO. But like as somebody who likes MMOs, I've always wanted Destiny to go more in that direction, and it always has been basically a first-person shooter MMO. So I'm really happy that they're leaning into that. They showed off a new armor system that looks like it's going to be a lot more in-depth and stuff like that. There's a lot more as well. I mean, Shadowkeep is on the moon, but they're retooling it. It's twice the size. The raid's going to be in the Black Garden. What else? Returning exotics, bunch of new exotics. Showed off artifacts, which also looks like a cool new MMO thing where there's just like skill trees, a lot more options there. And apparently each class has like a finishing move now. So like the Titan like pulls back his fist and looks at it and then like does this cool animation of like a punch. Like each class gets a cool finishing move. There's a lot more in that stream, so check it out if you want to. But Shadowkeep comes out September 17th, and if you own it like I do on PS4 and on PC, I will now be able to play with my friends no matter what console or what platform, and that's really exciting. So be on the lookout for that. If I missed anything, which I probably did. Stadia comes out in November of this year as well.
Also, real quick, they did announce Baldur's Gate 3 as part of the Stadia thing, and I've played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 1 as a kid, a little bit of Baldur's Gate 2, and those are really great series. I'm curious how Baldur's Gate 3 is going to work, if it's the characters we know from the first ones are going to be there. It would be sick as shit, and I do not see this happening at all, if we could somehow import our saves from Baldur's Gate 2 over, because you could do that for 1. Baldur's Gate was made by BioWare back in the day.
The Baldur's Gate 3 is also being made, I'm pretty sure, by Larian Studios, which does Divinity Original Sin, Original Sin 2.
Yeah.
And Original Sin 2 is amazing. It's a great video.
People basically said, like, when those games came out, they were like, this is like everything you want from Baldur's Gate. And so the fact that they're doing Baldur's Gate is going to be really cool.
Pretty awesome.
But that's quite a bit off. Was that all the Teddy Says things?
Yeah, that's all the pre-E3 things, I believe. Stadia comes out in November. the pricing I didn't fully find, but I think it was like 100 something for like, you start off, there's like a pro subscription that you get, but it doesn't give you all of the games. It's like Amazon Prime Video kind of.
Oh,
where
I was thinking of it more like PlayStation Plus, where it's giving, or Game Pass. Probably more Game Pass, where it's giving you some stuff and better streaming settings.
Yeah, but a lot of it you will have to buy, but not all of it.
Yeah, Bri, are you excited for Stadia?
How do you feel about the streaming future?
I think it's interesting until everyone has access to that kind of speed. I don't really care because I'm in rural Minnesota, so it's like.
Did you try the deal where they let you play Assassin's Creed on Chrome?
No.
Oh,
I did
okay.
not.
I know Teddy did that and it worked well for him. I tried it and it worked a little bit, then it crapped out. So
yeah, it's exciting. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm excited for any way to make gaming more accessible, where you don't have to have $800 to thousands of dollars worth of like equipment. Great. Yeah. They also, for Xbox, I think they are setting up that you can make your Xbox a server now, and you can play on like your phone and stuff like that's awesome.
They had a similar thing.
Again, until speeds around the world are more accessible to everyone. Yep. That's my biggest like gripe is speed. We all need the speed to make it work.
Greg Miller, he's a dude that I follow a bunch when it comes to this stuff, and he tweeted out a video of the xCloud on the phone, like with the controller, and he was like, "Oh, it looks good. It looks like it feels great. It seems super on point." And he like moved, and then the character moved, and I was like, "Oh no, Greg, no, that looks really bad." But for some people, they will be totally fine with it. But at this point, I'm used to my 1 millisecond response time monitor, so it's like I don't think the streaming future is for me. If it is, it's a long ways away.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the game you're playing too. Like multiplayer, if it's gonna be competitive in any sort of way, I don't see it being very viable yet.
For sure.
Yeah, anything FPS will probably be issues. I'm hopeful, but I'd have to try it to know. Okay, let's get into E3 now, the proper conferences, which we're going a little bit in for the most part in chronological order. First up was the EA press conference. They didn't really have too much mind-blowing stuff.
They didn't even have a conference.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I think most of them called their things the showcases.
Yeah, but theirs wasn't even, they were just like on stage for like a few hours and like cycling in with people. Like it wasn't even it wasn't a presentation. It was like we're hanging out on Saturday and showing some things.
Yeah, it's like EA Play, and when they have a bunch of stations and people can come play. And
yeah.
It should be noted that our guest, Bri, was at E3 herself, so she'll be able to chime in with what she was at and what she was able to play.
Did you do anything at EA Play on Saturday, or no?
I did not. The downfall of EA Play is it was more towards Hollywood, so it was not in the LA like live area.
Yeah.
And for me, I was on a strict budget. I could not like afford an Uber out, Uber back kind of thing. But people said it was cool. They could. I did have an appointment set up where I could go play Apex for an extended amount of time, like 30 minutes, so I didn't have to stand in line. I ended up canceling it, but I like the idea. I wish it was in that same E3 like live space.
Yeah.
But people said it was cool. They got to play some games, so.
But the most notable thing we saw out of the EA Play event was a better look at Star Wars Fallen Jedi. The gameplay trailer that we saw made it seem kind of like Uncharted meets Dark Souls. A lot of Uncharted, but there was that kind of tougher boss battle that seemed to have kind of a more like parrying, attacking system that people have associated with Dark Souls. But I've heard some more like people who have gotten their hands on the game who have said it's more like Metroid with a lot of kind of exploring and like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and also I hear that apparently you have a ship and a crew, and you can just fly to any other planet whenever you want. So it's all so that's kind of the Metroid deal of like you'll be you can go wherever you want whenever you want. But there are certain areas of like, oh, my droid got an upgrade and now I'll be able to access this area that I couldn't before. So yeah, it seems like what they showed is maybe not what is the game, and there's probably some like the PR department and the actual developers weren't really agreeing with what should be shown. But either way, it looks like it could be interesting. It does seem to tie in with Rogue One, because we did see Saw Gerrera in that trailer. We also saw the droid that Alan Tudyk played in Rogue One. Well, not Alan Tudyk's character, but that type of droid as a bad guy. And I have a feeling that this is actually going to explain how Alan Tudyk's character joined the rebellion. And we're going to like, maybe Cal, the main character, is going to be responsible for that happening. I have some theories, but we also saw a little bit of Apex Legends. Well, the new character for Apex
I was
Legends.
just gonna throw out about Star Wars is that a lot of people are really kind of like disappointed with it. I think it looks really, really awesome, and I'm excited about it. I don't know. I don't necessarily see why people are kind of down on it, but I like the gameplay that I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think we're just hoping for more because we haven't had a really good Star Wars game in a while.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a like mind-blowing thing, but it was very much like, this looks like a polished like Star Wars linear story that is going somewhere, and the combat looks fun. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm down.
Bree, you play Apex, I assume?
No, she said she can.
I don't play a lot of it, but I should get into it. I like it. I'm just not very good at it.
Relatable.
I play like one character Lifeline, and if I don't play that character, I probably just die right away.
Yeah, I played a little bit early on. I got one win, and I was real proud of it. And like, I'm leaving on top. I'm done.
I'm undefeated. You play your first game, win your first game, and you're like undefeated.
Yeah.
Peace out.
And that's about it.
I'm excited to get back into it. I would like to get better at it, but I want to say I love the ping system, because that means you can play with randoms and you don't have to have your mic in, which is a female on the internet not having to try to talk to people is great.
Yeah, that ping system needs to be in everything. It's so good.
It's great.
Yeah.
Every game should take note that having in-game just the simplest little pings, like it makes a world of difference. So.
I absolutely was playing like a bunch of Apex, and then I went over and played Halo 5, and I think it was SWAT, and I was
just
trying
to be like, there's people over there.
Yeah, I tried to ping once, and I ended up doing like throwing a grenade or like meleeing the air, and I was like, oh damn it.
Anybody excited about the new character? She's, I guess, like an engineer who can put up like walls.
That's cool. I haven't really played Apex in a while. I mean, I played a lot of it when it came out, and I do really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, but there's just too much other stuff. But I'll play it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I feel like Apex hit the ground running and then kind of lost its momentum. So they're gonna have to do something to kind of pick up their steam.
Did they announce like a new map or anything like that?
I don't think so.
I think that's like one thing that would get people playing again, is a new map.
Yeah, I think that's a problem, is that right away when a battle royale hits, everybody's kind of learning and at equal footing, and then people after a month or so, people just know
get way too good at it.
Yeah,
if you're playing something like a battle royale like that, you need to like change it up. That's why I think Fortnite does a really good job. I hate the game.
Yeah.
Bad at it. But they do a really good job of changing it up and introducing like different ways of playing. So I think Apex is great, and I really hope they do better in the future to keep their player base interested.
Yeah.
Well, there's a company who's trying to keep their player base interested, and their name is Microsoft. And you happen to be there for the conference.
Yeah.
How was that? And also, what games were there?
So this was only my second briefing ever. Last year, I also got in somehow to the Microsoft briefing. And it was great.
They had a back door open and no guards.
Yeah, got it. No, I just like snuck in. So no, probably shouldn't say that. I didn't sneak in. I had a badge. It's okay. No, last year I'll kind of give my thoughts on last year first. Because of Kingdom Hearts, I cried during last year's because I love Kingdom Hearts and Halo, and seeing one of my favorite games come over to like a Microsoft console was amazing. And yes, I cried. But this year's, I saw Halo. That was my biggest thing. And Cyberpunk, actually, I got super more hyped for. There was a lot of indie titles, and that makes me happy as well. So, how do you say this one? It's Spirit Fair.
Yeah.
And these are just highlights. Just like if there is anything on here that you really liked, highlight that. I mean, I'll
I would have
also
to
talk
see a
about the
list.
ones I
I would have
like.
to see a list again, but definitely like Halo. But that one was more.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
I will say, is it the more I've thought about this? Do you think it's weird that they didn't show gameplay if it's launching next year?
Halo?
Of Halo?
Yeah, of
No.
Infinite.
I don't think it's weird at all. It's on a new console. They're launching it on a new console. They're not going to show.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to show the gameplay until they show the new console.
They will not show gameplay of a new console unless they're going to launch it also on X.
It's just
but
weird that, like, I don't know. It's just like it's a year out, you know? Like, it's not that far.
we got another E3. What do you think they're going to show next year?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, like, at that point, it's going to be, here's everything that's coming out, like, in a few months.
Yeah.
And that's cool,
Yep.
and that's awesome, but, like, it makes hype a little bit harder. Like, hype's easier to hold with gameplay.
That was my biggest, like, that's their biggest downfall of when you're, you'll see it because most of the games that are in development probably right now are going to be next gen for Microsoft.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like we did see a lot of indies, and we're seeing a lot of like, hey, Game Pass games that are coming out
Yeah.
again kind of thing. They're kind of filling the space because they're not going to show like pre-alpha gameplay
Yeah.
of a console
Until
that's
they're ready
not
to show
out
the
yet.
console itself, they're not going to show anything
Yes,
on it.
and I think it's smart, but
Which is a
also
bummer.
that's they when people say they're safe this year for their briefing, they absolutely were. But
yeah,
that's because they're setting up for next year. That's my opinion.
yeah.
So
Next
yeah.
next year's conference should be really, really good,
yeah,
honestly. Because
and
then
hopefully Sony comes back. I would really appreciate Sony coming back.
you said that Microsoft's like all their stuff that they're developing, like all the first party studios, all that they're developing is going to be for next gen. Same thing with PlayStation. It's why they weren't there.
Yeah.
You know, they were just like, we can't show most of this. So, yeah, next year should be honestly overall. I mean, we haven't gone through everything, but just overall, wasn't a huge fan of this year's E3. Like there was definitely some highlights and stuff that I liked, but like
It's like they're all setting up for next year. They're all like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what you get to be excited for next year, or
Yeah.
like Q2 next year, kind of.
it like at Microsoft, most of them were like 2020, like with release
Yeah.
dates, which is
Yeah.
I feel like we saw a lot more of things we already knew about.
yeah. There weren't a ton of surprises.
I'm going to go through the list of games here that...
Yeah, go for it. We'll jump out on one.
We got Spirit Farrier, which
I don't remember this one.
It's just
it was a
fairer.
cool one where like you're on a boat and there's like animal spirits or something like it's got this cool like illustration style to it, and it's a little vague on what it seems like you're kind of exploring islands to get stuff that the people need.
Oh, this was the one where like she fell in love with the animal, and the animal died or whatever, like in the trailer.
I
Right?
didn't get that feel for it. No, it seemed
Well, they were being all sweet. They were hugging, and then he died, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, learn how to say goodbye.
with the name of it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're kind of like helping these creatures move on.
Yeah,
Like,
I was watching this with like friends in Discord, and I remember being like, "Oh man!" And then that happened. We're like, "Oh no! Why'd they get us attached in a trailer only to crush our dreams?" It's brutal. But it's really pretty. The art style
it looks
great.
cute. The art style, I like it a lot.
I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. We also saw a little bit more of Minecraft Dungeons, which
I'm actually quite excited about those.
yeah.
A lot of people that got to play it said it was like really fun actually. And
Cool.
for me, like I played a lot of early Minecraft, but I can't get back into it. But
oh man, dude, Minecraft is one of those games that I will consistently go back to at random
you can just
points.
jump back into it and lose a couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even like random points. It's just like I'll go a year without playing, and then 1 month I'll be like, oh man,
You know what? I feel like
really
playing
wanna
Minecraft.
play
Let's go
yeah.
punch some creepers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I really am craving Minecraft right now. That'll happen, and I've been doing that lately.
There's actually a new update for that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. It's like Pillage and Scavenge or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I have a lot of like history with Minecraft. Like it's a very nostalgic thing for me, and I still love it. So it's like it's weird.
I played
so
a lot. I put in a lot of hours. Like that's
oh
god.
This is a really sad thing. Speaking of Minecraft story mode that Telltale made.
I never played any of those.
You can't buy them anymore because Telltale went down and they took them off the store.
Right.
And I was listening to a podcast the other day and they said that like you only have a certain amount of time to re-download it even if you own it. Like even if you have it, like even if you bought it, you have to re-download it. And I re-downloaded it and then I went to buy season 2 because I don't have season 2, but I was like, honestly, if they're going away, I should grab this. And it was too late. So like and if you try and buy season 2 on a disc, it's only the first episode and then you have to like download the rest, which I guess they won't let you. So like that shit's just lost to history.
Yeah.
And it upsets me.
That's so sad.
I've been meaning to do it, but with all the E3 stuff, probably next time's topic of the show is going to be about game preservation.
I would be glad to talk about that because I heard that news story and got all sad. I was like, oh,
we're losing access.
It's not just it's all Telltale games.
Yeah.
Like, all of them.
Every Telltale game, people.
It's so weird. Fucking THQ Nordic, buy it and just keep them on the stores. They buy everything else.
Yeah, people are never going to be able to experience that, which I would say Telltale Games had a huge influence on where we are as games, and we're losing
Especially
a piece of history.
Like story games, just having like episodic. They put like The Walking. I never played it, just watching people play like The Walking Dead, like episode by episode, like that. That was a new like medium for streamers to play with their audience, like that. In itself, like I just remember watching so many people play through just episods, I'm like, I didn't watch this one, I have to go back and watch them play through this one before I watch this live stream,
Yeah, that was awesome, man. The I like Telltale too a lot too. I played a lot of their games, so it's sad. But Minecraft Dungeons looks super fun. I am excited about it.
We also got 12 minutes, the trailer for that. Really like
oh my god, that one.
So good.
Oh,
so good. Like it seemed real chill, and then the guy was just like, we have lived this, you need to tell, and then just went through the loops. It seems like you're just playing the game 12 minutes at a time. And trying to figure out what's happening and I guess why you're in a time loop.
Yeah. I had heard about this game like honestly like a few months ago to like it feels like a long time ago, but at some point I heard about it on Podcast Beyond, like one of them had played it. I didn't know the name of the game, so I didn't know that's what I was watching until like it kept going and I was like, oh, this is that game that I heard about. But it's like it's such a cool concept. It's literally like 12 minutes, you play, you learn the most that you can, and then you restart and you like try and figure it out. And the trailer was super captivating. Looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really. I like how it's all top down. Like that's a new perspective because if you really think about it, you never really see their entire face, or at least in the trailer you didn't. So it's like you don't have that like immediate connection to like the characters unless they're like laying on the floor or whatever. But I just really liked that it was like perspective.
Yeah, it seems like you're like it feels very like tight, like you're kind of like stuck in this area and just with this
claustrophobic.
Yeah, and very little, but that like voice acting seems very interesting. It seems like a lot can go on, so it'll be interesting for that. Then we got kind of this spooky, weird trailer that I think a lot of people were thinking that was it's the game where you're an author. I Alan Wake.
Alan Wake?
Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
were thinking that was Alan Wake, and then you're in the woods and you got a camera, and people like no one figured out what it was until it pulled away and you saw the Blair Witch symbol, and they're making a Blair Witch game.
Okay. I have never seen Blair Witch.
Me either.
Me
So
neither.
at least I'm not alone in thinking I was stupid not knowing what that was before you saw like the title screen. So I missed out. I never saw Blair Witch. So I'm assuming it's found footage.
Yeah. The symbol like comes up first before you see the title. And my friend was like, "Oh, is that the Blair Witch symbol?" And then he comes, he's like, "Oh, it is." So
Yeah.
but I haven't seen it either, so I don't know.
Yeah, people seemed like interested. The trailer didn't seem bad. It's just I don't know exactly. Is it tied to the movie at all, or like the film, or is this like a completely different
It seems like it'd probably be a prequel or something. I guess we
a
don't.
prequel to it? Okay.
Well, it also seemed like that game had a time
'Cause
loop
I've never
to it.
seen the movie. I have no idea.
That game seems like it had a time loop because if you looked at the camera, it kind of seemed like it looped back where he like the camera had where he started but he had died, so it kind of seems like you loop. I guess we'll need more information, but
Yeah, it seemed
could be
like
cool.
maybe you're watching some of the game happen and then you're filling in the holes and that's the gameplay. That was what I would think be happening. Like you're filling in the holes and you're playing through that part of the story that you're not watching. But I had no idea.
yeah. I don't think any of us have seen Blair Witch, but the trailer looks cool.
Yeah. Spooky.
Okay, I don't have a transition. Hey, Bri, something really cool happened at the Microsoft press conference when Keanu Reeves showed up. What was that like in person?
You could feel the room. Like as soon as I saw his character model at the end of like the little
Trailer?
trailer because he pops up in the end.
Yeah.
You can tell it's him without him taking his glasses off. So I'm sitting in my chair. I'm like, no fucking way. Sorry for my
No, go ahead.
swearing, but no way. And like you see the character model in the trailer pull, and I'm like, it's Keanu Reeves. It's Keanu. And like they bring him out, the smoking of the production. You know, it's like
entrance.
you feel it. You feel because everyone loves that man. Who can't love that man? So it's like seeing him like part of like a gaming story is amazing. I'm super excited for it.
Apparently his character in Cyberpunk is like, other than the player character, he has the most lines out of anyone in the game.
So they
pretty
don't
awesome. Yeah.
they don't explain exactly his character, but the gameplay I watched, he seems to pop up he's like part of. So in Cyberpunk, you get like chips and like you can link into like the web and stuff like that. So it seems like he has a link with this Keanu character. Not sure though.
Well, we know what his character is, which I'm Googling. Because I know it's Silverhand. Just Johnny Silverhand.
It's Johnny Silver.
So
Yeah,
His name is Johnny.
Johnny Silva.
Johnny, yes, Papa.
I will say two things
God.
about this. While I was watching the Cyberpunk trailer, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, oh, this whole chip thing in his head, and it seems like he's not really handling it well. This seems like the movie Johnny Melmanek, which was an old Keanu Reeves cyberpunk movie where he had to smuggle data in his head, but he didn't have enough storage, and he did the deal. And I was like, oh, it kind of seems like they're going for that kind of vibe and stuff. And then Keanu Reeves shows up, and it's like, oh, I guess they were really going for that kind of vibe.
Huh. Yeah.
But so this is actually Cyberpunk 2077 is actually a sequel to a tabletop RPG, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, which I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
People explained this to me, and that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I've never played it though. I think it was before I was born.
Yeah, you can still get copies of it. You can get PDFs and physical copies from the person who printed. Also, what's cool is the person who wrote the source book for 2022 has been working with the devs of Cyberpunk 2077 to like incorporate how that work and a lot of the lore. And this takes place obviously, 50 years after 2020, whatever, 57 years, whatever, however the math works. And Johnny Silverhand is a character from the tabletop RPG where there are like adventures that would involve him, and it seems like storylines that are part of that, like the tabletop RPG will have kind of sequels, like stuff that happened then is important to now, and Johnny Silverhand is dead. It should be noted that, and it seems like he's kind of in your head.
That makes sense. Okay.
He's in your head.
Okay, so I was right in assuming. Okay.
Yeah, he seems like he's like a cyber ghost that's probably in the thing in your head.
Which makes sense because the gameplay, like you can tell he's not a physical person because he kind of glitches. Like he's definitely in your head.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, there seems like Polygon has a very cool video where they read the entire source book of Cyberpunk 2020, and he talked about like what stuff he would want to see from there in the actual game, and they talked a little about Johnny Silverhand and all that. And I'm still like, I wish it wasn't first person. That's not my way of exploring an open world game. I'm not.
You can play third person.
You can? I thought it was force first. Okay, if you can play third person, I'm excited. Now you're doing a face that makes me think that you're not 100% about that.
No, it looks like a face as I saw this in the gameplay demo, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this or not.
No.
At least, okay, so you get to, you can walk everywhere or you can take vehicles. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's definitely more like Mass Effect-y. I don't know if you get to combat third person, but you can definitely walk around not first person.
Okay, good, because
don't quote me on that later. I'm winking if you guys aren't watching.
And this
but no, it's really cool.
This never made it to the YouTube video. I will say, okay, so we obviously saw in that trailer kind of, some stuff where the guy he was supposed to trade with turned on him and attacked, and then he kind of pulled out blades in his arms, and there was kind of exchange, and his character actually lost that fight due to this chick hacking him. Yeah. And I was like, wait, I want to have her power. I want to be able to hack people and be able to kind of engage in battles that way. It has been said that you can play Cyberpunk 77 without killing anybody.
Yeah, that's what they said is, yep.
Yeah, there are
passive or aggressive or as aggressive as you want.
Yeah, you can't play without hurting anybody. There are sections where you do have to fight people, but you can spare them. There are boss battles where you can let them live, so you don't have to kill everybody. But it seems like you can definitely handle scenarios with going in guns blazing or maybe stealthing around. It seems everybody who's played that, or I guess came away from that, is blown away, and I am excited to see it.
Yeah, the gameplay demo I got to watch when they beat one of the boss ladies, they kind of are like knocked out for a second, and you can kill them right there, or they were trying to explain if you don't kill them, are they going to come back for you later? Again, it's very Mass Effect, like your actions can come back. Depending if you kill them, let them live. Are they going to come back and help you for sparing them, or come back to kill you revenge-wise? So it was very interesting how many choices you have in that game. So I'm super excited.
Was the demo just amazing?
It was awesome. So again, it's not optimized. There's glitches, and they definitely explain that. But like, it's early gameplay. It was awesome though. Like, it wasn't pre-recorded. They let the audience in my room like decide if we wanted to kill or spare, and like they gave us like options to prove that it wasn't like pre-recorded. So
it'd be cool if they were just like, oh no, it's Cyberpunk, it's supposed to glitch, this is on purpose.
It's in your head.
Yeah. But have you played The Witcher 3?
I have not. I watched someone play through it. Everyone says I should play it. I'd probably love it.
Oh no, it's dope as fuck.
Everyone
but like,
says when I had long hair, I look like the Siri chick.
oh yeah, maybe you could totally cosplay as her.
Yeah, I don't know who. I've never played it, but that's another one where your actions.
Yeah, that
determine,
game
like, the
that
end,
game
right?
has some huge stuff of like you have the option to kill characters and stuff, and depending on if you did, that will greatly change things. And even at the beginning of the
love
game,
games like that. Ugh.
yeah, at the beginning of the game, they'll ask like, I think you can import your save from Witcher 2. If you don't have one, then they'll just ask you like, hey, what did you think you would do in this scenario or whatever. So you
like predetermines your thing.
it's got kind of that Mass Effect stuff, but there's lots of story stuff. So, and that seems like they're being way more ambitious with the Cyberpunk game, so it'll be exciting. You guys already talked about Halo Infinite.
They just showed a little trailer. There's no gameplay. There's a little trailer at the end. The music, it was like kind of kicking up with the drums, but it was like like a little like slight, and then it was like as the like light kicked open, then the full theme came on, and I was like, oh shit, let's go. It was great. But that's kind of all we got.
Halo fans don't need some fancy shit. All we need is a little dun dun dun, and that's it. That gets us excited. That's all we need. Man. So.
And then you got hands on with Borderlands 3.
Yeah, they went over. I think Moz, their newer character that they introduced a few weeks ago or whatever. And I think that's who I got to play as. And she has like this mech that she can pop in, and that's like her skill tree. It was fun. I didn't get to the last, so you get like a little gameplay demo of going through your skills, and then you work your way up to fight this boss. I didn't get there. I was like way too like walking around and looking at stuff, so I got very distracted. But it was fun. It's very fast paced. I was jumping around, it's Borderlands, so.
Okay, I have very selfish questions about Borderlands.
Okay.
I have not gotten to talk to somebody who has played Borderlands 3. Have you? I need background on your gaming experiences. First of all, have you played Borderlands 2?
I played it. I didn't beat it.
Okay. How did you feel about the gunplay in Borderlands 2? Like how it mechanically feels?
Fine.
Okay, that's good to know.
Why
I'm getting a baseline here.
Was it bad?
No, I personally, don't think that the guns feel good in Borderlands 2, which I know is crazy because everyone else does, and I'm alone on it, and that's fine.
Compared to Borderlands 1, what do you think is?
I actually haven't played Borderlands 1. 2. I've only played 2.
Then you're in the wrong for not playing Borderlands 1.
Well, I'm just
That's why it feels so weird. No.
I'm comparing it to, I play a lot of first-person shooters. I'm comparing it to like Call of Duty and Destiny and Halo, and just like how those guns feel, like how it feels to move your character and the weapons and how they feel to shoot, right? In Borderlands, they just don't feel very good to shoot to me, some guns feel a lot better than others.
Yeah, it's probably depending on the gun and maybe your character too, but like in 3, like that was
Yeah.
It didn't feel weird at all. It was, like I said, fast-paced. I could like jump around. Like I don't know, it felt good.
The reason I was asking is I've heard from people, like there are a couple people on the Destiny community podcast that like said that Borderlands 3 felt more improved on the gunplay. Like it felt a lot smoother. So I was like, ooh.
Yeah. It probably helped that I was playing on like high-end like PC. Like it was... They optimize your experience, so it could probably vary on depending on what you're playing on, but it felt good. The 20 minutes I got to play it, I liked it. So it was
good.
It was comfy. Like I was on like high sensitivity. I was just jumping around.
That's my only worry about that game. Like I know I would like the story. Like with Borderlands 2, I liked the story. I liked the crazy guns. Like those were fun, and the environments were great. The music was cool, but like just. I couldn't play it for long because, like, eventually I was just like, it doesn't feel great. But it's, like, a very nitpicky little thing. But if Borderlands 3 feels a lot better, then I'm all in.
I would hope so. I think it'll be fine. You'll play it. You'll have fun.
Cool.
We got the trailer for Elden Rings, which is the new game coming from Software and George R.R. Martin from Game of
Yup.
Thrones.
Hell yeah.
The trailer looked weird, super
It
high
wasn't
fantasy
much.
stuff.
Yeah, super high fantasy stuff. Lots of limbs and like attached where limbs shouldn't be attached. It was just like a bunch of arms. Dude's shoulder was like cracking.
I guess we got no idea what the game's gonna be like. It's probably gonna be like Dark Souls with some high fantasy stuff.
I'm like interested in why they're bringing our like Martin on there. Is it going to be more lore focused, like story driven? Because we saw a lot of like combat, if I remember
Yeah.
the trailer right. There wasn't any like this is what this game's
It was
about.
very
You
vague.
know what I mean?
It was just like, here are people.
So I see Martin as like a storyteller. So hopefully
Yeah.
there's a reason that's
I
happening.
heard that
so.
he kind of helped consult on just like the world, like building out the world, which makes sense.
Maybe they just had him come in for like some coffee and stuff, and we're like,
Can we put your name on?
why don't you make that an elf?
You want to come to E3?
Yeah, it's like that's good, but we can put your name on the game, right? And like, yeah, sure. And that's all they wanted.
I guess. I don't know.
They just wanted his name on the game.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say, as somebody who I was looking forward to it because it's a George R.R. Martin thing, right? Like he consulted on it, so I was like, oh, that's cool. It's gonna be awesome. But like the fact that it's that and FromSoft, personally, if George R.R. Martin's going to consult on something, I wish it was more just like open world RPG action adventure kind of thing, not exactly how FromSoft games are, which I do like FromSoft games, but I just wish that like his kind of world building is in an open kind of expansive thing. Maybe this game will be. Who knows? Maybe the FromSoft game will be super open world or something, which would be new. But
we also got a new Xbox Elite controller. You guys hyped?
if I had the
am,
money to buy one.
because I'm not going to buy it right away. The reason they needed a 2.0 is because of these mudda truckas. These bumpers go out. This one I actually got replaced.
Oh.
That's the one thing they better have fixed, and I don't know because I didn't get hands on with it. But if you've ever played with Elite controller, it's heavy. It's nice. I'm excited about the charge hours that's on it, and it's Bluetooth, which is nice because then you can hook that up to whatever. But that's like the nerd. Like I'm an Xbox person. Very much recommend buying a nice controller because I don't like this one that comes with the Xbox. It's too light and cheap for me. So, but
It's too light.
it is though. It is.
It's so much heavier than a like standard PS4 controller.
It really is. And playing Halo a lot, bumper jumper, and just having better buttons, like that's why. That's why I need a better controller than the one that comes with Xbox.
You exactly understand the reason why I want an Elite then. Because on I play Destiny on bumper jumper, right? I use L1 to jump, right? And because there's a lot of aerial combat, so you don't want to take your hand off the thumbstick.
Yeah, you want to be able to shoot and jump and throw shit like as
and aim as well. Yeah. So it's like, but on Halo 5, the bumper jumper like control option changes the sprint to the A button, and it doesn't make sense. I'm like, why? Why is this a thing?
Well, it's you can can't you customize now?
I think you can customize control, but it's like for the whole system. It's not like for per game.
Which on the new one you're gonna have 3 settings that you can just switch from, and that's cool. I love that a lot because you can have Halo, Forza, and then like Gears of War. You can like switch that. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I've wanted an Elite controller since I started playing Halo 5, and I saw that the bumper jumper options in the game are really bad. I was like, man, I need an Elite controller, and I haven't got one. But
I still prefer bumper jumper, but yeah, I'm excited. Not everyone is. It's just a controller to some people, which is fine.
Yeah.
But.
I wish that they also let you do the game labs, like the design labs with it, where you can change
with an Elite controller.
Yeah, that would be
Can't you
really
do that,
cool.
or is that
no,
only with
it's
the
only
regular?
the standard controller.
Okay, really? See, I've
Yeah.
never done the lab thing, but there's some cool controllers people have made.
Yeah,
so.
they're really awesome. The Design Labs thing is really cool.
You know what else is cool? Legos, and they're gonna be in
Hell
Forza
yeah.
Horizon.
Everything is awesome.
That was
That trailer was
so
great.
cool. Like they showed the like car, and it was like, oh, they put in another fancy car. Who gives a shit?
And then it was a Lego.
Yeah, and then they did Legos, and I was like, yes, I'm on board again. And it looks so
Yeah.
cool, and I'm stoked for it. Like everything's Lego, the entire world, the cars. I'm hyped.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge like car person, but I have played Horizon, and it's a beautiful game. I just drive around in it. I don't really like to race. So the fact that there's Legos now that you can run into, and it, sounds great.
I'm all about it.
Are we Xbox friends, Bri?
Probably not. Are we?
I don't know. I don't play my
I don't think we are, Bryce.
I don't play my Xbox too much, but maybe we could play Forza because that's a Game Pass game.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Game Pass games, Gears of War 5 coming to you hot. You guys hyped? I guess I haven't played Gears in a long time.
I didn't get to play it, and I'm really sad. I just did not have time. But I'm excited.
I've said this before, but I played all of the Gears of War games for the first time in the summer leading up to Gears 4. Like, Gears 4 was coming out that fall, and I played through 1, 2, 3, and Judgment all in that summer, which took a lot of time, by the way.
No, you played Judgment.
Oh my god. I played Judgment, and my first takeaway was, this isn't that bad. Like, I get why people don't like it, because it's very different, but like, I was playing it, I was like, why does everybody hate this? Like, it's not the worst thing
I think
in
it
the
was
world.
just the timing of that game coming
Yeah.
out, and it did have a lot of problems. It just
Yeah.
was just...
I could get a timing thing, and it's super different too, so like, I get it if people just weren't ready for it.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I'm so excited for 5, though.
Yeah,
Super
I
excited.
played through all of them that summer in prep for 4, and then I never played 4. So I have 4,
You
but I
need
haven't beaten
to.
it.
It's so good.
I need to get to it.
So Gears of War
I would
5 is
be
going to be
hyped.
very focused on Kate. So
Yeah.
you need to play 4
Yeah,
before you play
I'm going
5.
to. The how long is it? Gears
It's
4.
not actually that long. There's
Okay.
just a lot of cinematic bullshit that's intertwined. So you have to be a little patient, but don't play it on like the hardest difficulty
No.
because you'll just get mad at it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll play it before 5, so I would be excited if I had played 4. I still am, because I really enjoyed the ones I played.
Yeah, the little trailer that they had of just like Kate it explained everything but didn't.
That's what you really want.
Yeah.
Okay, and Dying Light 2, we got a little bit more of that. I guess that, speaking of games that are gonna have a lot of story change, like decisions that are supposed to have big changes, I've heard a lot of interesting stuff, like based on story decision you make, you'll have access to a new area that you might not have if you like spare a guy or not, or
When they showed off that game for the first time, they had like a giant graphic on the back of the screen that was like, here are all these billions of branching paths. So like, it's gonna be a lot different.
yeah, I heard it said that on your average playthrough you're only gonna see like 50% of the game, so you're gonna have to play
Wow, really?
multiple times to see every possible scenario, which is cool because with those type of games, when you're done, you can go to a friend who's also finished the game and be like, hey, what'd you do here? And how, like, be like, oh, I spared this guy, and then he revealed that, oh, the zombies came from the space and stuff. Oh, I killed him, and now I have
Alien zombies.
I don't know, but like, you know, there's a lot of different things. I mean, I will say having that conversation is what turned me off of The Witcher, because I ended up killing someone in The Witcher that my roommate ended up sparing, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know you could spare her, and then I looked up what happens, and I was like, oh shit, I fucked up.
You gotta accept your consequences
Yeah.
and keep going. You know?
I know. I need to start playing again and just roll with the punches. But that's
So
Yeah.
I never played Dying Light. Is it like a horror thriller like story?
Not really. It's definitely spooky a little bit, but only because the zombies are just really scary and like actually really threatening when it gets to be nighttime. But
Is it more
a
like
parkour...
Resident Evil?
Not really.
Oh, parkour? It's parkour?
It is a parkour open world zombie game.
Yeah.
So Mirror's Edge with zombies.
Yes.
And
That
guns.
sounds awesome.
There's a big focus on melee combat. You can play through Dying Light with like 3 other friends. Like I played with, it was during a time in Destiny 1 where like a expansion came out and people weren't loving it, so there was a little bit of a lull. So me and like a couple Destiny friends hopped on Dying Light for like a month or 2 and just played that a ton. And there's a lot of content and it's awesome. That game's great. If there's a sale, you should grab Dying Light.
I have
really good.
always wanted to play
I'll
Dying
have to
Light.
add that to my list.
Yeah.
I only got like 20 hours in or something. Like we only played for like, I don't know, a month and like a couple times a week. But I would like to go back to it. One of the billions of games I would like to go back to.
I have always wanted to play Dying Light with friends, because I hear amazing things about it. So, Bri, if you end up picking it up, I'll totally play it with you because I have wanted to play that for a while. Speaking of a game, another game I want to play, Way of the Woods. This is another weird, cool-looking indie game where you play as, it seems like 2 deer, like you're kind of the mother deer.
It looks so cute.
Yeah, like you're going, it seems like you're kind of in a modern setting and you're trying to get back home, but also like seems very surreal and all that. It's, I don't know, it looks really cool.
It kind of looks like they're stuck in a city, you know, because they're like going, I don't know if it's like post-apocalyptic or like there's just no people around or we just didn't see them, but it looks super cute, like you're taking care of like a fawn while going through this. But
yeah, it looks really cool and I'm excited to hear more. But one last bit of indie news, Microsoft has bought Double Fine, which seems to be Microsoft's move of late, of like, I know a way to get exclusives. Let's buy everybody. And so
to be fair though, Double Fine, they've been struggling for a while.
Yeah.
They're definitely kind of weird indie games. They put out Psychonauts. I'm trying to think of some notable games. Costume Quest. They put out a lot of really cool games, but they haven't really had a breakout hit in quite some time. So I get it, and then we saw, you know, God, who is the guy? Well, the head of Double Fine came out. He was funny. He was like, "Hey, do you like? We'll do Halo if you want, or XL, whatever you need." And it's just like, "No, you can do."
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
and then we saw
Is it Schaefer? What's his name?
Tim Schaefer.
Tim
That's
Schaefer,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, Tim Schaefer. Yep.
Yeah, I knew it was
That's
Tim something. And he showed Psychonauts 2. I've not played Psychonauts 1, but Psychonauts 2 looks dope AF. So that is some exciting stuff. That is 2 press conferences down. Teddy, can you take us through Bethesda?
Okay. All right, Bethesda. This is not exactly in the full order. I'm pretty sure this is about the order that it happened. But Todd Howard came out and was like, what did he say? It was like one of the he's like, oh, we made mistakes along the way. With all of those mistakes, I'm surprised you're all still here, or something like that. Like, I'm surprised this many of you showed up. So he came out and talked about Fallout 76.
I loved all the like, we are Bethesda, you are Bethesda. You can't be mad at us because you are us.
Fucking got him, dude. Fucking
yeah, they're on an
trick.
They're on an apology tour right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to find, because we don't have it in here, but I'm trying to find, there is also a name of the expansion that is coming out for free where they're adding NPCs, which is huge, and like a main storyline. I'm pretty sure it's...
Oh, I don't know what the name of the NPC is, but I know the Battle Royale is Nuclear Winter. Or there's something.
Oh man, I thought that was what that was named.
Maybe.
Oh well. But yeah, there's a big expansion that's gonna be free for everybody that's adding like human NPCs, which is huge for that game, and main quest line and all this. And then they're also adding a Battle Royale. Does anybody care? We're gonna move on.
I mean, That is the stupidest freaking thing ever, because you need a lot of players to make a battle royale work, and they're begging people to play. This is the stupidest thing to add to Fallout 76 right now.
I don't know, it's hot. They were like, people loving battle royales, we'll add one in.
The Red Dead Redemption Online has a battle royale mode, and I jumped in there once. 3 people played. There was 3 people I could get into a match.
That seems like just matchmaking problems.
No, because no one was playing it.
I don't know about that. Red Dead Online is still huge. There's no way that only 3 people.
I mean, it was a little bit ago. They're trying to give you more stuff. Red Dead Redemption Online has never done well. They've been putting stuff in and trying to get players back in. And when I hopped in there, there was not many people, and it seemed everybody was just griefing for the most part. Anytime I tried to do a mission, people would just shoot me, and I was just like, this is bad.
Okay, so that is Fallout 76. I don't care. I was not super interested in 76 in the first place, and then it was a train wreck. Good luck, Bethesda. Doom Eternal coming out November 22nd this year. They just showed off more gameplay, which looks awesome. There looks like there's a huge focus on the movement, as well as they also showed off a 2v1 multiplayer mode. It's not like the multiplayer before, but it's like 2 aliens versus the Doom guy. They kept saying it's a mix of strategy and skill. So that looks like it'll be a fun little bonus, but it looks like more Doom with more focus on traversal. Bree, you played Doom. Was it fun?
I did, and I died a lot because I haven't played any of the newer Dooms, but it was fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to kill things, so...
Hell yeah. Good.
I'm excited to try it out. I'm definitely going to pick it up this time, but, like, again, I haven't played Doom, like, any of the newer Dooms, so it was super, like, uncomfortable to play it, because you can, like, wall grab and, like, double jump, and...
Yeah.
So...
It feels like when... I like I've been saying, I'm a first-person shooter guy, but like I tried Doom, the first one, like at a friend's house. He had it, and I tried playing it, and it just didn't really click for me. I feel like it would if I gave it more time.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if you had more time to play it from the start and work up to, I died a lot, and you can pick up like 1-ups, and like there's like portals and stuff you can go through. So
it seems even more video gamey.
Yeah, more
portals
video games.
And 1-ups and...
No, it was really fun of what I played. The people that loved the previous ones are gonna love this one, I'm sure.
Good.
So.
November 22nd. Get hyped. You know what I'm hyped for? The Elder Scrolls Online, because I pre-ordered the expansion and then I didn't play it. I own it and I haven't launched it yet. It came out like a month ago at this point and I still haven't launched it. But I really love ESO. ESO is one of my favorite MMOs going right now. They came out and they showed like the second part to the Elsewhere cinematic. The first part came out with it, and then it was like to be continued. I enjoyed it because I've actually been like following that, but it's very long. For people who are not into ESO, I was like, oh man, they're probably struggling right now because it was a long trailer. But then they also announced that in the Year of the Dragon, which is like the season thing, that's how they're doing content. The Scalebreaker DLC is coming out first, and that's a dungeon DLC. They didn't have dates; they're just both this year. And then the next one is called Dragonhold, and it's a zone DLC. So there's a whole zone of quests and places to explore and whatnot. So I'm excited about that. That seems like it's going to be a lot of fun when I get the chance to play it, which will be never. But if you're interested in Elder Scrolls Online, pick it up. It's a great MMO. It's a lot of fun. You guys haven't played it, right? Nobody's played it?
I think I played like an hour or so of it when it was on Game Pass, but I didn't get too far into it.
The console version of that game's not super great, sadly.
It wasn't bad.
It's good.
I just didn't like how if you're in a group, like you each have to do every step. You can't like work together towards that.
Share.
And I feel like that's where I was like, we were losing a lot of time just because we were both doing like.
Yeah. It's grindy. It's an MMO.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a big time sink, you know. But
and I get distracted, so I'll go off and like fight things for 15 minutes, and they're like, "Did you finish it?" No, sorry, gotta go do this. So it's playing it co-op was.
Yeah, as somebody who loves MMOs, though, it's really polished, and the side quests are actually interesting. Like in most MMOs, it's literally like go kill 10 things in this area. Okay. And then it's just grindy like that, whereas ESO has actual like quests that are interesting. Then let's see if I can nail this. Ikumi Nakamura came out on stage, and she is a developer for a new game called Ghostwire Tokyo, fully new IP. As she said, it's spooky. And she was super cute and enthusiastic about it, and it was awesome. And they showed off a little CG trailer where like it was Tokyo and people were disappearing, and that's kind of all we know about it. But she said that it's not exactly a horror game, that it's more of like a thriller, and it's spooky, but it's like still action adventure. And that's where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll actually play it, because normally I don't play horror games, but that sounds like I'd be okay with it.
Like, we definitely get the disappearing thing, but then we see like these monsters that kind of like a ninja or ranger type character is fighting against. And yeah, like it seems like there was at one point some guys who just shot somebody and she disappeared. So it seems like there's some sort of creatures that are taking people out and somebody who's fighting against, and all these like fantasy creatures. I will be very curious to see what the gameplay looks like, but if they set up the world in a really cool way. So just that trailer shows off a really cool setting.
Yeah. And then they said Rage 2's first expansion is coming out later this year. Showed off a little trailer for that. And then they talked about Orion, which is Bethesda's streaming technology, but it's not exactly. Bryce shakes his head. Out of all of the streaming stuff that we've been talking about over the last forever, this is the most interesting to me, because this seems like something that will actually make a significant difference. It's literally just, they described it as just like, it's not necessarily it's not a service for gamers, but it's a technology for publishers and developers, because it apparently helps optimize things to run better for streaming services like Stadia and xCloud. And that's where I was like, oh, okay, cool. If you will help it run better, awesome.
Yeah,
because that's what I'm interested in.
I guess that's more exciting. Just the fact that everybody's announcing streaming services.
Yeah,
it's just
theirs is different though.
It just feels like kind of where everything was on Netflix and it was great, and then everybody wanted to do their own, and it's like I don't want to.
So now we have like Hulu, Disney.
Yeah.
And five more others.
And you're like, I want to be able to just get all my stuff in one place, and
right.
But if this is more about making it easier so stuff works on these other services, I'm more about that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they showed off Deathloop, which is also a new IP, and that trailer looked awesome. And the game is from Arcane Studios, which does Dishonored. Which is another one of those games that I played the previous in the install, like Dishonored 2 was coming out that fall. I played the remastered that came out of Dishonored 1, beat it. It took me a while, but I beat it and I had fun. Then I was like, all right, Dishonored 2, pre-ordered it, never played it. But yeah, Arcane Studios, is really well known for design that lets you do whatever, like you can go about the level in many, many different ways. And they said that it was still going to have that same type of thing. It's about two characters that are like stuck in a death loop. I'm pretty sure the woman wants to keep the guy in the death loop by killing him, and she keeps him there by killing him, and the man wants to get out, and he has to get out by killing her. That's kind of... not entirely sure. It was something like that.
In the trailer, we see the woman seems to have powers where she can teleport around. The guy just seems to have guns.
He's stuck.
Yeah, and we saw for the most part the girl killed the guy a bunch of times, but there was at least once where the guy killed the girl, but it did still go. So it'll be curious to see what the rules of this universe are. The trailer focuses on those two, but there are other people that they are fighting. So we'll be curious.
It's interesting. I am very excited to hear more. Arcane Studios, there's one level in Dishonored 2 that everyone like talked about over and over, like it's like the clockwork level apparently is incredible. And it's like the most well-designed level that people have played in like anything, and I'm like, man, I really do have to go back and play Dishonored. But yeah, and then they also showed off Wolfenstein Youngblood. No like new info, But that comes out July 26th. It is a Wolfenstein game, and those games are really fun. And it is co-op, and you can play through the whole thing with a friend, and that seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's really soon, July. And that trailer was really dope. It was set to music, and it was edited super great, and I liked it a lot. Bryce, tell us about Ubisoft. Any closing comments on Bethesda? I actually quite enjoyed the Bethesda conference.
Real quick, I know that Darian has seen both Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop trailers. What do you think of those?
Yeah.
The trailers looked cool. I'm absolutely not going to be playing either one of them.
That didn't seem
How do
like
you know
your
that yet?
thing?
No, like my initial thought was, wow, yeah, Deathloop looks really cool. How the fuck are they gonna make this concept into a game? Like it looks like a good movie concept, not a good game.
I mean, it definitely seems to be inspired. The aesthetics seem to be inspired by old movies, like movies from the 70s. That definitely, like, end credits where they showed Deathloop was like
graphics.
Yeah, it definitely had that older feel to it. But I mean, I'm optimistic. We'll see.
How do you know you're not going to play it or that you don't like the game if you haven't seen gameplay, though?
I'm not hopeful for how they're going to translate the teaser trailer into gameplay.
Be open, man. You never know. You never know.
I play League of Legends, and that's why I can't play other video games.
I mean, I understand. I get it. I'm like naming off all these games that I didn't play because I was too busy playing Destiny, and now I'm back into Destiny, so fuck me.
She is a very particular gamer. Like I was saying when I was showing her stuff, I was just like, She's very particular. You just have to like keep being like, you're gonna like this game, you're gonna like this, and then maybe she'll try it, and then maybe she'll like God of War, and then she does. but to be fair, I was the same way with Spider-Man, and she super hated that. So
Spider-Man was fucking awful, which is why I don't trust Bryce anymore.
Yeah, I got one in the win category and one in the lose category. So, but Ubisoft came out and they showed us Watch Dogs Legion. And that one is super interesting. It's this time we are in London and you don't have a main character because all of the characters are your character. You can recruit any NPC, obviously not the bad guys. You can't be like, hey, guy killing me, you want to be on my side? Unless maybe there is a few characters you can turn to your side. But you can play as any character you encounter in the world. You will be able to see what kind of stats they bring to the table, and they showed off you playing as some different characters in the gameplay demo, both just like showing off how recruiting would work, where you have to kind of do a mission to bring them to your side, but also because you can play as any character, if a character dies, they have permadeath. And then you switch to a different character and we'll play that as that.
I'm so excited.
But they showed off after the character you started as, this kind of middle-aged bald man who seemed maybe like a brawler type. We didn't get a great feel for what he's brought to the table. He ended up dying, and then they switched to a old lady. And she went in and did some hacking stuff with a drone and like shocked people, and people are in love with playing as this grandma. And then once she had acquired the information about where this
literally shocked people,
where this kid was, they switched over to a brawler, and she went in to rescue this kid and finally recruit him. And I will say that like, during that cutscene, the kid that they end up recruiting, he asks the character that they're playing as now, and she's like, he's like, what happened to that guy who helped me? And the character you're playing as says, oh, he died. And then he ends up joining your group and stuff. So that, like, how does that even work? I guess my thought was like, I guess if he doesn't die, then maybe you don't even get to that mission. Maybe things play out very differently. And they're saying like that each character is going to have unique dialogue and all this stuff. This seems super, super ambitious. And speaking of which, let's jump down to the questions sent in by an Aussie boy. He says, do you think the ambition towards the new Watch Dogs game could be its downfall? Ubisoft has been innovators for new gameplay trends through their entire existence, but I'm worried that it's going to end up like State of Decay, where you can play as anyone, but it doesn't have a strong narrative. What do you guys
Possibly.
think?
It is very, very possible. I'm optimistic from what I've seen, but it's a super ambitious concept.
I think what they'll have to do is more, you're going to be invested in the stories of the individual characters. It seems like they're going to kind of have those people have their individual things, and I guess we don't really know much about what the main story is. They just kind of
I was going to say the complete opposite. I don't think they're going to focus on the characters basically at all, because each character is like disposable, and they don't really like, you can't develop a whole quest around this one NPC that's found over here, and then like, what if somebody never picks that NPC? So like, I think they probably, it seems like they're developing an overarching story based on like the AI or the character that's talking to you. What is it? It's like Bagley or something like that. It seems like they're developing an overarching story based on that and on DedSec as a whole, and then going from there. That'll be interesting.
Darian, did you find in the Legion, Watch Dogs Legion, interesting? Or
Nope.
okay, Bree, you interested in Watch Dogs?
I was out eating during this press conference, so
okay.
I missed out on a lot of this stuff.
I will just say real quick, this is one of the most one of the games that I'm excited about by far the most. Watch Dogs 2 is a lot of fun. Watch Dogs 2 is awesome, and I had a great time with 2. And 3 seems like it's going to be that same kind of level of fun, but like super ambitious and kind of innovative. And like, if they do this idea, but even still have the same mechanics from 2 and the same like level design from Watch Dogs 2, and like they add more gadgets and whatnot, like I'm in. It's going to be a fun time.
I will say that this was a problem with the first Watch Dogs, is when they first showed that looked like mind-blowing, and then when it finally came out, they were like, this isn't what you showed in the first place. They overpromised, and hopefully they learned their lesson from that and aren't trying to overdo it this time. If it is what they show it to be, it'll be, I mean, this next, batch of games are going to be mind-blowing. Cyberpunk, Watch Dogs, like the next, few years of gaming is going to be insane. Okay, so Ubisoft showed off Roller Champions, which seems like a little multiplayer roller derby, but with powers and bigger deal.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
it was free for a while. When they dropped it, they also dropped a demo for like the next 4 days. I didn't get to try it out, sadly, but I had a couple friends who did, and they seemed like they had a really good time.
Yeah, I saw DeFuture playing it, and I asked him while he was streaming, and he seemed kind of down on it. He said, well, maybe I just need to play more or something. He said that it was, in beta, and there was a lot of issues with it, so maybe the final version will be better. But it's a wait and see. It's kind of a smaller game that is going to exist on kind of outside the main situation. We've got Gods and Monsters, which
this was just a short little trailer, but I'm very, very excited.
I don't remember too much about it. It seemed like it was a lady fighting some stuff.
I don't even know if she fought. It just the most important thing is that it was very much, the trailer was very, very much the Breath of the Wild art style, and it is developed by the team that did Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it is called Gods and Monsters, and it is focused on mythology. Like, I am down. Sign me up.
And then lastly, I guess there's a few other things. We did get did
go, I was going to say, this isn't on the thing or even in the article that we had here, but it's, because they didn't announce anything technically, but John Berthal came out on stage with his dog, and it was adorable.
Oh my god, that's the only thing I remember, because it was on Twitter. He just had his dog, and it just laid there, and it was like, best boy or girl.
It was such a good boy. Like, he was chilling there. He was hanging out. He didn't move or anything. He was just chilling. But he came out and he I was watching the kind of funny I was watching them watch the stream, right? Like the reacts. And he was doing, John Berthal was giving the whole speech, and Tim and Greg were both like, yeah, I'm with you, John. You're doing a great job in this speech. You're getting me in it. He was so good. He was great up there. But yeah, I am excited about Breakpoint as well. They didn't really announce anything, but that's coming out. I'm excited.
Yeah, we obviously got a new Just Dance, but we did get
Coming to the Wii still.
Yep, that's where the people be playing.
2019.
I will say, I spent so much money and time getting a Kinect working so that my girlfriend could play Just Dance. So I'll probably be getting this just because I have an Xbox One S, and then I was like, oh, I'll get a Kinect, because if you're gonna play Just Dance, I feel like playing with a Kinect is the way to do it. But then it turns out that apparently a Kinect doesn't just plug into an S anymore. You gotta get an adapter.
You gotta get that adapter, and they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, there's not an official adapter, so I had to find a third-party adapter. And it was like, I plugged it all in and got it finally set up. And it also doesn't sit on your TV like a PlayStation camera does or anything. So I ended up having to take my tripod and hook it into the tripod, and it's kind of like angled weird. It's a whole thing, but we've got Just Dance working. Anyway. They showed off Rainbow Six Quarantine, which seems to be like a tactical zombie game. I guess I don't really... Teddy, is this your type of game? I don't know.
Not... I didn't really... I'm not gonna lie, I kind of tuned out with Rainbow Six stuff because I'm not super into Siege. But like, I need to look more into this, but from what you just said, it kind of sounds like it.
Yeah, well, anytime they start with Tom Clancy, I'm like, I'm out.
I don't even, it's not Tom Clancy, just Rainbow Six Siege, because it's such a bit, there's an ant on my table.
Great. That's perfect for podcasts.
Oh my god. But there's
it's like clapping. You gotta sync. Everyone do it now.
Everybody kill their singular ant on your own table. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Siege is like so intricate and so detailed and like so long going, and there's so many different classes and heroes or whatever.
I like watching people play Siege.
I am too intimidated to play.
I have no time or the want to know characters and the tactics, but again, I play League of Legends, so I'd rather just go do that. So. Yeah.
I would like to kind of play Siege Vegas because I like competitive FPSs a lot. But it's such a time sink to learn everything. Like, it's a huge learning curve. So I just kind of stay away from it. But yeah, I'll look more into it for sure.
Yeah, I think they announced some other, like a mobile game and stuff. If you're into that, you can look into that. We got other news to talk about, like the Square Enix conference,
which was pretty cool.
Darian, do you want to cover that one?
Sure.
Darian, are you just over this?
I'm pretty exhausted.
Okay.
Well, ready to be done.
Just power through the Square Enix one and we'll wrap this up.
They did another Final Fantasy 7 remake trailer, and they showed Tifa finally, and that's coming out March 3rd, 2020. That's pretty exciting. Anybody else excited for Final Fantasy 7, or is that just me?
I am.
I've never played 7. And I'm
Me neither. I've been waiting to play it, the remastered, so I get
The remake seems like something I'm gonna enjoy gameplay-wise. Like, the combat looks fun.
It just sucks that Final Fantasy VII is one of those games that, like, everybody knows about that one thing. And there's a person that things happen. Okay.
The game's been out for 22 years, and you guys have never seen a meme about the person? Whatever. Anyway,
maybe.
We're not talking about it.
Lucky.
They're talking about potential alternate endings, which, you know, classic fans would be cool with, or not. I guess I'd be cool.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could. There's a lot of games I wish I could go in blind, like Gone Home. That thing's been spoiled for me, and I hear it's amazing, but I know how it ends, even though I haven't like played a minute of it. But
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII is one of those things that I know what happens. At least I don't know the entire thing. I just know one big moment.
I guess I don't know. Somehow I'm really good at not having spoilers, but I guess I don't pay enough attention.
we don't need to elaborate.
Yeah,
Once
we're
it
not-
gets to that moment, you'll probably recognize it because it's one of the most talked about video game moments of all time, ever.
Probably.
But what else happened at Square?
They announced and showed a trailer, I think, for Kingdom Hearts Remind and gave a release window.
What's weird about that is that they showed that at a concert beforehand and then released they showed it to the people at the concert, then they put it out on YouTube for everybody to watch, and then showed it again at the E3 event, and it just felt so lackluster, because we had already seen it. This would have been a great thing to show at their press conference, because their press conference felt really lacking, because it was a lot of re-releases or mobile stuff, and the Kingdom Hearts DLC would have been a great thing to put in their press conference, but we already saw it. So, and then
they showed the really, really bad trailer for the Avengers, which is coming May 15th, 2020. Can't wait to request to work all day that day.
I'm not an internet hater. I don't hate the trailer. I know a lot of people do. I don't hate the designs. I don't hate the trailer.
Bree, how do you feel about it?
I mean, it looked cool, and I feel like people that are super, super Avengers fans either liked it or hated it. I was sitting there watching one of my friends, he was hype, so I think it just depends.
Darian, why do you hate it? Just curious. I think I've heard why some people do, but I don't.
Yeah, I was not interested in the game in the beginning, but then they released this trailer, and I was like, oh, did
Wait,
they have
hold on. Just the idea of an Avengers game by Crystal Dynamics, people do the Tomb Raider reboot. You're not interested in that?
No.
It's Avengers. Do you like the MCU?
Yes.
No,
I
don't
like
even
watching the
Then
MCU.
why?
Don't equate this to the MCU, because
I
it's
know,
not.
I'm not. I know it's
This
not
is
the
like
MCU.
the same thing.
but
I love the Spider-Man games, movies, but I don't like playing through things that I like watching. I don't want to watch a Kingdom Hearts movie. I want to play a Kingdom Hearts game.
That's the point, though. It's
the
not
same
the
concept.
MCU.
The Avengers
It's the same concept,
is a movie for me now. That's a movie series. I don't want to play through that. That's just something that doesn't interest me.
I think I'm on the same page as you. I haven't played any of the Spider-Man games, but again, I've watched so many Spider-Man movies. Unless it's completely different, I'm not gonna get into
it's a different story
the
and
game.
stuff, but
Both of these
Yeah,
are.
but it's still Avengers. I've never played an Avengers game. I don't know if there has
They
been one
haven't really
previously.
been a ton,
but,
especially recently.
Well,
until
that's what I mean. Are you gonna
now.
play everyone's story, or are you just? Is it a fighting game? What is it? I have no idea.
Here's the problem with it.
I zoned out too.
It's a service game. They're trying to sell you characters and stuff
They said the characters will be free.
the characters are bad.
I guess
They're not. Why are they bad?
they're selling you costumes,
Wait.
but
The biggest question. Can you play as Lebowski Thor?
No. Well, maybe
in the future.
Then I'm out. I'm out.
They're gonna
I
sell
don't
you
care.
costumes.
Yeah, it'll be a costume.
Fuck it.
It looks bad. Anyway, was that?
I genuinely don't think it looks bad. I think the gameplay looks mediocre. It's not mind-blowing gameplay, right? I think it looks fine. I don't see what looks bad about it. The only thing that I think the people on the internet hate about it by default is that they look at it and they're like, oh, broke-ass Avengers, because it's not Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo and all. But, you're not gonna get them. I feel like people were expecting that, and
It looks
not
like
what
the
it is.
Spirit Halloween version of
Exactly.
the characters.
But they're not,
That's
though.
bad.
But it's
That's-
not. They're
It is though,
Like,
because they
it's
tried
Thunder
so hard to
God
make
of
it look like
Olympus.
the characters in the MCU.
I
Okay.
completely
they,
disagree.
Literally,
They
I
tried.
thought it was Mark Ruffalo.
Arachnid Man of this one city.
Oh man, see, I disagree. They tried the characters, right? In the comics, right? Thor looks like Thor, so they make Thor look like Thor, but he's not going to look like Chris Hemsworth because they're not going to model him after Chris Hemsworth, right? Like, they have a base, and they made the base, and they made their version of it. Like, I don't know. I don't think they look like broke-ass versions, but...
It looks like they're stunt
and
doubles.
they only look like broke-ass versions if you're kind of going into it expecting the MCU. You got to expect something different. They're doing their own thing.
Okay.
He doesn't. Okay, but they don't look like the comic book versions or even like a revamped version. They look like they tried to imitate the MCU, which they didn't need to do.
They don't look. I don't know.
Which is stupid.
Disagree.
Like, if it's trying to be a separate entity, make it a separate entity. Why are you trying to
Which
sell me
I feel like
something
they have done.
separate? They didn't, though. It looks like Scarlett Johansson got smacked in the face with a frying pan 10 times, and that's what they put in the game.
Her
I feel
hair.
like if they
What
were to
the
go,
fuck?
if they were to go with like the comic book style of this game, do you think it would have done better, or would it be more appealing?
See, here's the
I
thing.
mean, they kind of are.
If Teddy was like, the gameplay looks great, that would be the only thing I could see someone defending about this, because
But there's no gameplay.
I think the gameplay looks good, and I think that
Is
the
there
models look
gameplay?
totally fine. I mean, there's snippets in the trailer that are like gameplay. They're like over the shoulder, like.
there are aspects of the story that seem slightly interesting, but I am not jazzed about this.
I'm not like super hyped about it like I was hoping I would be, but I just don't understand people being like, it looks bad. Because it doesn't look bad to me. I don't
I think we
it's
just
bad.
need to see more of it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think over time it'll. And honestly, with this, like, because I definitely am alone in this, or not alone, but I'm in the minority. So I feel like a lot of they might honestly take more time, and we might see a little bit more improvement.
See, I will say real quick, but I hate the people who are like defending the fact that, oh, they're gonna have multiple costumes, so if you hate the way they look, you can probably change it. So you're telling me I have to give them money so that they don't look ugly.
Yeah.
That's bad. Anyway, yeah, Square didn't have too much. We're not gonna get into kind of the re-releases and nitty-gritty. You can look into that.
I mean, can I real quick throw out like the idea of the combat in Final Fantasy VII? Where it's like you kind of like hit with your basic attacks on enemies, and that's real time, and then you can like pause time and use like the turn-based kind of things, abilities, which that seems awesome. You can kind of make it, and you can also bind the turn-based abilities to like shortcuts, so you can make it as fast or as turn-based as you want, which seems really cool.
yeah, it seems like they're trying to like balance like Kingdom Hearts style gameplay with classic Final Fantasy VII, which seems really great.
Looks cool. Seems like I'll like it. But yeah, that's basically Square.
Okay, so let's get into Nintendo, which is basically our last press conference. We've got a few extra things after that. We're just going to mention quick. Luigi's Mansion 3. I haven't played any of them. Are you guys hyped?
I have not played any of them, so no.
Okay.
I would not mind playing it because I play all sorts of types of games, but it's I would need money for that and more time in my life.
Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which is a remake of the classic. It looks really cute. I've already pre-ordered the amiibo because the art style is really cool.
Is it a remake or
Yeah.
remaster?
Remake. Well, yes.
It's basically a remake.
Well, remaster is basically where they just re-export the game under higher settings. This is
That's such a bad way to put that. That takes so much. That's just like saying, oh, you just copy and paste, save as 1080, save as 4K. No, that's not what it takes.
For a
It's a lot
remaster.
more. Yes, a remaster is a lot more work than. That's just a derivative way to say that.
It's putting out the same thing under higher settings. This is completely remaking it because it's completely new art style. They're like tweaking stuff.
They built it from the ground up. They didn't take anything.
There's actually a really cool deal where you can like build your own dungeons. So yeah, it's got a lot of cool stuff, really cool gameplay. I've never played Link's Awakening, but I'm excited to try this out.
It looks so cute.
Animal Crossing New Horizons. Who's excited?
March 2020.
Anybody Animal Crossing?
Me, Animal Crossing. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Okay. My girlfriend screams loudly anytime anyone vaguely mentions Animal Crossing, and she was just like, "Oh, the one character's you could put furniture outside." There's apparently a lot of new stuff that is gonna be there that the Animal Crossing people are jazzed about.
The only thing that I'm nervous about is that it looks too much like the Pocket game, and I don't like that because the Pocket game was fucking bad.
When the trailer started, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, this is just for the mobile game," and then it kept going, and she's like, "Oh, this is for the normal. This is for the new one."
This is for the normal.
Okay. But she's still excited.
See, that's concerning to me. It's for the mobile game. Great.
Yeah, she's still excited. So, and then
I'm still gonna get it.
This is not in order. The thing I was working off of was not in order, so we're kind of jumping around. We got new Smash character announcements. First, they announced the hero from Dragon Quest. I don't know Dragon Quest. I don't know anything about that, but people who are into that will be stoked.
It seems like the alternate skins are literally just different heroes.
Yeah. And then later, they kind of messed with us a little, and they revealed Banjo-Kazooie. Then they made it look like it was just, was it Duck Hunt Dog?
Duck Hunt Dog, yeah.
And then, yeah, and then they were like, no, it's really Banjo-Kazooie. Because, like, once they did that and showed the... like Duck Hunt Dog transformed, I was like, no, they can't show us that and not actually have Banjo. He has to show up, and then of course he does. So I think that's cool. Like they added in one for the Japanese audiences and one for the American audiences. You guys excited for Banjo?
Sure.
I'm excited I love Banjo-Kazooie, so I don't play Smash. I'm just excited that Rare is intertwining. That's like one of the biggest character requests of like Smash was Banjo.
Yeah. I played Smash, but I have not played Banjo, so I'm just excited for a new Smash character.
I think I played Banjo way back when, but what's awesome is that every Smash character is going to have an amiibo, so we're going to get a really cool Banjo-Kazooie amiibo.
That's
because
cool.
Amiibos are like really well crafted. There's like going to be some of your highest quality figures, so that's exciting. We saw Cadence of Hyrule, which is actually out now. And everything I've heard, everybody who's played that just talks about how amazing it is. It's basically Crypt of the Necrodancer in Zelda, and it is well loved. And if you saw the trailer and excited, go pick it up. It's out now. Speaking of earlier, when we were talking about Witcher 3, if you haven't played it yet, it is coming to Switch.
Now I can try it out.
It's coming out on Switch right now.
It definitely looks like a visual downgrade, which makes sense. Like, you know, Witcher was very, very pretty, so they obviously can't make that work on the Switch, but it definitely gives people an opportunity to try it out who haven't had access to it. We got
maybe I'll actually beat it.
A new Mario and Sonic at the Olympics game is coming out. More of that. We got No More Heroes 3. No More Heroes is a well-loved series.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but
yeah, I think I saw my brother play it. It was cool that like I remember it came out on the Wii originally, and he had kind of a knockoff lightsaber that you used with the Wiimote. So people were very excited. It's like a lightsaber game on the where you're actually using it. So people were very excited. It's kind of like lost its luster, like its uniqueness over the years, but it's still a cool franchise. Empire of Sin is kind of a gangster, I don't know, like a top-down, well, I guess more isometric gangster-style game that looked kind of interesting. I guess I don't know too much about that. We got a Fire Emblem Three Houses trailer, which...
Yeah! Woo!
Well, I've not played any Fire Emblem, but that story trailer seemed kind of cool. Maybe I'll check it out. That one comes out July 26th. Then
it's so soon. I love Fire Emblem. I'm really excited.
And then we got the Good Avengers game. We got another trailer for the Good Avengers one.
It's exclusive on the Switch.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order. This they don't look like the movie characters. They look like the comic characters in a comic format, and everybody looks great, and it's going to be amazing, and I'm so hyped. And it sucks that it's only on Nintendo, but Nintendo ponied up the money and said, like, here's the money, make the game, and it's going to be great, and if you want an awesome Marvel Avengers game that's not just Avengers. You're going to be able to play as Miles Morales. You're going to be able to play as X-Men. Every Marvel character you can think of is probably in there.
Isn't the Ultimate Alliance kind of like? Isn't that that series kind of like? Not exactly over the top, but kind of over the top Diablo-y kind of thing. Am I?
It's kind of top up, and you can do 4-player
Top down.
co-op. Yeah.
Top
You can
up. Just looking at the sky.
You're just looking at their
You're
butt.
looking upside down.
Nobody can wear a skirt in that game. And yeah, it's got full co-op, and what's cool is that like you can
be a lot different than the other Avengers game in gameplay. That's all I'm saying.
Do moves with other people. Like there was things where somebody would throw Wolverine at the bad guy, so like there's co-op moves, and there's gonna be a lot of that in this game. I'm seeing a lot of really cool new characters, and the storyline looks really interesting. It seems to be more focused on like Thanos and what's going on there, but we also see other big baddies involved, and I'm excited for that.
I'm watching gameplay of it right now, and it reminded me that I should say this on the show. DC Universe Online, an MMO that is almost completely dead, is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
That's what it needs. That'll bring it back.
Really weird announcement. I saw that and I was like, what? Because I like DCUO and I've played it a good bit.
Didn't they push that really hard like last year?
What, just the game in general? DCUO?
Yeah, it was like a mobile fighting game, right?
No,
that's a totally different thing.
this is an MMO that's been out for
Am I
quite some
thinking of
time.
Yeah, it's on PS4 and PS3 as well. Like it's a console.
Thinking
MMO.
of like there was a mobile fighting game. Like what happened to that one?
Oh, I mean,
Injustice?
Injustice is a mobile.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Injustice
Yeah.
2 was a like console fighting game as well.
Yeah, they brought it to mobile, which is so weird.
Yeah. Well, it's a different. It's like it's similar, but it's a different gameplay. Like it's made for mobile. Which I had a friend who played the first Injustice mobile game and actually really liked it. So I was like, huh. But yeah, DCUO is. I at one point looked into getting into that again because I was like, oh, let's see how the population's doing, and it was not well. So I don't really know how or why they're putting it on the Switch, but good for them.
Okay, the last thing from the Nintendo press conference was
Yo! Breath of the Wild 2 is getting a sequel! Or Breath of the Wild is getting a sequel. Holy shit! Breath of the Wild 3 is coming out, guys! I bet you weren't expecting that.
Nobody expected that. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's crazy. It's awesome. It's very exciting.
It looks super duper creepy, and your girl's pretty fucking hype about that one.
It's one of the reasons why I went and bought the big memory card, because I was like, God damn it, I gotta get back on Breath of the Wild.
yeah, so I guess we just kind of saw some vague teaser. It seems like Ganon's back, but now a mummy. And things gonna be...
It's not confirmed that it's Ganon.
I will
Don't be throwing around speculation like that. It's just a teaser trailer. It's only in development. We don't even know when it's coming. That might not be Ganon. It might be a new bad. There's a bunch of theories about some other game series that, or some other like Zelda.
Lost the sass for a minute.
Yep, I did. There's some theories. There's some theories that it's from a different universe, that it's not Ganon at all, that it's like other big bads from other Zelda games.
It's sexy
There's
Ganon.
some potential people it could be.
Monka S, dude.
But yep, new Breath of the Wild, and it'll be
Also,
interesting.
if anybody knows where to get that music as a ringtone, I need it really bad for personal reasons. I need it as my ringtone.
Okay.
That's not
That's
spoiler
the
alert.
personal reasons.
So that's coming out. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the Kind of Funny Game Showcase, where they showed off a bunch of indies real quick. For a lot of these conferences and stuff, the pacing was real bad. Square Enix was the worst of it. That the pacing was just real bad. People were shouting at so many of these conferences. Square Enix, I will say once again, the worst about that. People, I guess, had open bar and were just drunk and shouting things all the time, and it's like, why was that a good idea? But the Kind of Funny Game Showcase showed a lot of games really quick and really tight. Not a lot of them stuck out to me. We did see Monster Prom 2. And I think that's the only thing that's coming to mind. And then Devolver Digital did their annual press conference, and their press conference is basically a parody of press conferences and the games industry in general, and they have a freaking storyline. And
oh my god, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Last year, I watched the Devolver conference at like 1 a.m., like super late at night with friends, and it was like cracking me up so much.
Yeah.
And they basically do a big like comedy skit, basically. I just said basically twice. I hate myself. But this next one is apparently really good from what I've heard, but I haven't watched it yet, so I need to.
They did show off a Enter the Gungeon arcade game, like a light gun arcade game coming to arcades. Well, I mean, they put it up for sale. They, are targeting arcades. It's $5,000. I'm vaguely tempted to pick it up. My girlfriend would murder me, but it would be dope as shit to have an arcade game, a proper light gun game, just chilling in my living room. People would just come over and be like, "Holy shit, let's shoot the bullets," because the bad guys are bullets. I'm trying to think if there's anything else notable. There was some weird stuff. Oh, they did show. God, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a weird like Battle Royale meets Mario Party, where you play through like a series of mini games and it knocks out a certain amount of players each round, and then at the end it whittles down to one person. Seems pretty cool. Like Devolver Digital doesn't show off very many games. It's just all about the weird skit and stuff that they do. And they always it seems like they always put out something weird every year along with their stuff. Last year they did Loot Crate Coin, or Loot Box Coin, which was a physical coin you could buy on their website that the price changed every hour on the hour. And this year they made knockoff versions of their own games they published that you can pick up on Steam that are like really simplified, like weird versions of the games that they themselves make.
That's awesome.
And yep, that's E3 for you guys. We made it. Hopefully you're still listening. Now,
we went over everything.
We went through a lot. We actually skipped some stuff, but if you're still listening, it's probably because you are one of our Patreon producers, and we want to thank you for helping support this show. Your names are Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas. Thank you very much for your support. And if you would like your name read aloud during this part of the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/lastgeek and click the thing that says Patreon producer for Ready Set Gamecast, or there's a category that's like get shout outs on both podcasts, which you get a shout out on Game Make Corp as well. And then give the amount of money that it says, and then you'll get the thing. There's also other tiers.
Just give the money, get the thing. God damn it.
There's other tiers, and it's great. There's also, if you are a supporter at any level, you get a discount on Last Geek merch, which we will talk a little bit later. Now for a quick topic of the show. Hey, Bri, what was it like on the show floor?
Crazy. Actually, this year it wasn't as crowded as I thought it was going to be, but since E3's open they sell gamer passes now, so it's not just media influencers and stuff, it's just a lot more populated, so it gets crazy, but it wasn't too bad this year. Did make sure to have a lot of lane space, so crazy.
Was there any particularly cool booths that you saw? Any?
A lot of AAA titles like Borderlands. They'll have the big statues of all the Vault Hunters, which is really, really cool. Pokemon. I know Nintendo had out Luigi and the 3 starters. People could take pictures with those.
Luigi.
Those are the big ones that stuck out. Borderlands for sure had all of their big statue characters. Like you'll see pictures and they're just huge, really cool, but they took up a lot of space.
Okay, so moving on to questions and comments. Darian, this is your time to shine.
Yay, shiny.
Are you?
Yeah, like the crab in Moana.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite spoiler from any game ever. Hit me with
God,
those.
don't submit
To
that.
read for us on the show. Zyger asks, how many games do you think Final Fantasy VII Remake will end up taking before its finish? What?
2.
Because it's coming out in episodes. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is only going to cover part of the story, and then there's going to be other games. It's going to be episodic.
Which is weird and dumb, but it's a thing. It's episodic.
So is it going to be part 1, part 2, or is it going to be episode 1, 2, 3, 4?
That's really weird because the collector's edition, like, if the physical game is on 2 discs.
Yeah, it's going to be...
It's supposed to. I mean,
I'd
they're
say part
supposed
1,
to...
part 2.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to release the first episode or first part, and then it's going to be a while, and then...
I say 3 parts. I figure they'll go trilogy.
Wait, how many discs was the original game?
One?
3.
Was it 3?
Oh, was it?
At least 2. It might be 3.
3 discs? Because I know Final Fantasy IX was 4. And it would make sense if they split it up per disc.
But yeah, it's weird that they're still doing that, but I hope it's not... I hope it doesn't take forever in between episodes.
Okay. Next question.
I'd say 2, if I were to guess. 2.
I say 3. Darian's just now finding out it's episodic, so...
And she's Googling it and researching it.
She's like, what? That's the thing. Like, the collector's edition of Final Fantasy VII is $330, and you're not even getting the full Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, you'll have to get a collector's edition too.
Yeah, the original Final Fantasy VII was 3 discs.
Well, this one will also be 3 games.
No, it's definitely 2 discs in the physical edition.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's episodic and they're selling multiple games, then the next one's going to be multiple discs as well.
Yeah,
probably,
but this will be 3 games. I'm saying it. Darian, did you want to guess how many games?
No, because if it's selling, like, episodic, right? Like,
Yeah.
The Walking Dead was episodic.
Yeah, there's a lot of games.
But you only had to buy 1 disc. You only had to buy 1 game
Well, no, see, you
to
could
get
buy
all the episodes.
You could buy the individual episodes, or once it finally came out, once everything was out, you could buy it as a whole. So you could wait.
No, I mean, with
You
Walking
could buy
Dead,
it
you
as
buy
a whole
season
first,
pass.
and then as the episodes came out, then they'd become available to
We're
you.
not saying they're doing that. This is a large scale. We're pretty sure they're going to do Final Fantasy VII Part 1, $60. Final Fantasy VII Part 2, a year and a half from then, $60.
Yeah.
Like, just 2 games.
Yeah, the guy said, like, we decided to make this story just a game on itself. This part of the just this thing. It's not going to be episodic like The Walking Dead. I don't think.
No, you're not going to get a season pass.
Which sucks, but I get it.
Charles Jacobs says, what are your thoughts of Twitch banning Dr. Disrespect and E3 later revoking his badge?
Kind of fine with it.
I think everyone's fine with it, other than people that don't understand the legality of filming people in the bathroom, no matter how funny.
Stupidest thing to do. I don't know why he even thought it was okay. And
I want to hear the full story on it though, because I mean, his cameraman followed him in. I don't know. I mean, he should have said, "Hey, don't follow me in." But like, I don't know. I wonder if he.
I just think they weren't thinking it through because they went into multiple bathrooms. But
oh, really? Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, yeah. There's. If it wasn't okay, he would have said something right away. He didn't go no, get out of here right away. They were in there for a bit. I will be curious to see how long he's banned because I doubt it's perma.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't even say like a time or anything.
That's probably because they don't want to. They want to,
want to wait for it to blow over.
Yeah.
Well, illegal. What he did was illegal, and there was
Yeah.
a minor in like I don't know if it was a minor, but
Yeah.
there was a young person in the bathroom that they were filming in. So it is illegal in the state of California what he did. So no matter how funny or like scripted, like I don't care. Don't go and film people in the bathroom. So
I don't care for Dr. Disrespect in general, so.
Yeah, I've always thought he was a garbage human.
Damn.
Next question.
got him.
Totally Not Teddy asks, when will Teddy play something other than Destiny?
Never again. I'm stuck for the rest of my life. No, in all seriousness though, I'm back on Destiny, like hopefully like I used to be. But it means I'll go through periods of burnout where I'll stop playing for like a month and I'll start playing some other stuff and I'll always come back. But like that'll happen. I mean, the other night I played Rogue Legacy on my Switch for a little bit because I wanted to change pace. So it'll happen. Not as often, but it'll happen.
One more question.
Aaron C asks, what show or shows are you watching or binge watching right now? I'm watching Stranger Things.
Oh, really?
I just finished Lost last week, so
Oh, fuck.
and it was fantastic, and somehow again I dodged every spoiler.
You like the ending?
I did, and a lot of people are like, why? But I think it's a timing thing. I watched everything within the span of 6 months without waiting years for this. I think it's a timing thing because I loved
that would make
it,
sense.
and I'm not a religious person, and I'll shut up.
Spoilers.
I have always considered watching Lost because I missed out on it as well. Like I wasn't watching it when it was huge, right? So I've wanted to just go through all of it, but everyone says the ending is terrible and don't do it, and
I
it's not worth
disagree.
your time. So I'm like, I don't know, but maybe because it feels like I missed a moment in like entertainment,
That's how I felt. But again, somehow I did not get the ending. The last episode spoiled, and a lot of things I just don't think I was paying attention to it when people were always talking about it. And I liked it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever watched. So
Wow.
I only watched the last season of Lost when it was airing, and I didn't care for it.
Oh yeah, I wonder if that's because you weren't invested in the story at all.
I was just like, I have no idea what's happening.
I wonder if it's because you jumped into the end without knowing anything.
that's like
before.
watching the last episode of The Office.
God.
You don't.
I wonder why.
I was just like, I'm just here for the payoff. I hear that there's a lot, and it's gonna pay off so
you
good.
You should exclusively watch the last season of Game of Thrones.
I should.
And that's it. Don't watch any of the rest of the series, and I bet you'll love that season.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, watch the Avatar: The Last Airbender finale, and you'll still love it.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's probably you
Hold
won't
on.
even need to know what's
That's
going
not
on.
fair.
It's great.
That's not fair. You're comparing perfection. Let's be real.
Last
You know what I'm
Airbender
saying?
can't
come
do
on.
wrong.
Teddy, what are you watching?
Oh, I don't know. I'm watching all sorts of shows. I'm still going through Attack on Titan. Not going through it, but every Sunday there's a new episode. There's a new one I haven't seen. Handmaid's Tale, I'm watching those as they come out. I'm only 2 episodes behind. I'm 2 episodes behind on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., 6 episodes behind on One Punch Man. I'm watching the 100 as those come out. I'm behind on The Amazing Race, which I am watching because I'm a dork. And Jessica Jones came out. Season 3 came out the other night, so I need to start that as well. I got a lot of shows that I actually want to catch up on. Still finishing out the last seasons of Arrow and Flash, but got a lot to watch.
Me and the girlfriend just finished watching Assassination Classroom and bawled our frickin' eyes out just before the podcast. It was my second time watching. It was her first time watching, and both of us we just had a box of Kleenexes just wiping away tears and snot. That show will kick your ass emotionally.
That's what I love from a show, is a good ass kicking.
No. So, some people just like to cry. No, not me. I just really like that show.
I do enjoy crying.
Watch Assassination Classroom. It will do the thing.
I have to watch Clannad first. I was told that one will destroy me. That's
I
like
will
a
say,
classic
I
anime.
did forget to mention, I literally, like last week, finished a complete Parks and Recreation rewatch.
I love that show.
Okay, let's wrap this baby up. Housekeeping.
Good.
Go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on YouTube. If you like the show, and I bet you do after this one,
Yeah.
please, if you're still here after this long, you love it. This is your favorite.
If you're
Love
still
this
here, you must have loved
Oh my
it.
god. I'm not even going to be able to listen to this whole fucking episode in one shift. It's going to take like 3.
If you like this show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful. I was like, is she not gonna do it?
I read right there. Everyone flexes. Oh, that means me too.
Other Last Geek stuff you should check out. There's a new Game Make Corp episode. Our good friend Alex O'Neill was on. It was a real banger. We did a good one.
It was really funny.
Also, real hype. Last Geek has a merch store, which we finally have the new Last Geek merch, including a badass shirt for Ready Set Gamecast and a poster.
Oh, it's so good.
Featuring me, Teddy, and Darian ready to face down the apocalypse.
The artist did an amazing job. Who did that?
Maggie Martin Moss. You can.
She did amazing. You did a great job. It looks awesome.
If you go to the store, her Instagram username is on the deal. Look her up. She does great work. But yeah, it is available there. And if you are a Patreon supporter, you will have a code for $4 off everything in the store. So if you're thinking of picking up the poster, the shirt, just give us $1 on Patreon, save $4 in the store. You're throwing away money. And that is everything we have for you. Bree, where can people find you?
Find me mostly on Twitter. Twitter.com/xbrix. For some reason, I put all those X's in my original name. So, other than that, I do stream during the week on mixer.com/BrixBri.
Just different levels of X's.
Yeah, just less.
Darian, where can people find you?
Twitter.com/dexterity. Also, mostly Twitch, actually. Find me on Twitch. DEXTERIDEE. Instagram with the same name. I got a website, just dexterity.com. I'll bring you right to my Twitch, where I make quality content.
Teddy Chinaris.
You can find me running in the Strike playlist on Destiny 2 and on twitter.com/Teddy Chinaris and twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris, last name spelled CHINARIS. Yes, that is my name. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. Yeah, that's where you can find me playing all sorts of video games.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Last Geek, Instagram at Last Geek Plays, Twitch at Last Geek Plays, youtube.com/Last Geek, and then lastgeek.com for the links to all the podcasts and all that great stuff. Thank you for sticking around for all this. Hopefully you enjoyed our opinion, the questions, and especially our guest, Bree. And we will see you again in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.